Chapter 1855. Qin Feng was shocked. He thought that the 13 palaces were this powerful. Even peak true spirit realm cultivators could only protect themselves, and they only dared to enter the third palace. Then, how terrifying were the palaces behind them? However, Qin Feng's understanding of the 13 palaces was too little. He didn't even know what kind of place it was. Was it made up of 13 palaces? How were the palaces connected to each other? It was a good thing that the black pockmarked man continued to say, looking at little brother Qiao's expression, "You haven't been to the 13 palaces before. Don't think that peak true spirit realm is powerful. You have to know that there are many body condensation realm cultivators that fall in the 13 palaces. Otherwise, it wouldn't be called one of the 8 danger zones of the South Flat State. Actually, this is my first time going there to explore, but I've heard from many seniors about the 13 palaces. It's said that there are 13 areas inside and each area is independent. However, if you want to enter the later areas, you have to find the array entrance from the previous area. The more you go to the later layers, the more dangerous it is. It's said that the South Flat State has existed for tens of thousands of years, but the number of cultivators that can enter the 13th layer can be counted on one hand. As long as you can enter the 9th layer, you'll be considered a peak expert and will benefit greatly. This was a very detailed introduction of the 13 palaces. Qin Feng originally came to the Panshan market to find Qin Shi and the others, but now he was interested in the 13 palaces. This kind of danger was bound to be accompanied by opportunities, so what Qin Feng needed now was opportunities. Unknowingly, the group arrived at the foot of a large mountain. The mountain peaks were endless, and from a distance, it looked like a giant dragon circling the earth. Hong Fei suddenly stopped and looked at the mountain in front of him as he said, "Fellow cultivators, we've arrived at Pan Long Mountain. There are many fierce beasts around here, so everyone should follow each other. If we meet a low-level fierce beast, just kill it, and if we meet a high-level fierce beast, try to avoid it." Everyone nodded. On the way here, the black pockmarked man had already introduced the other people to Qin Feng. The pair of cultivators was called Bo Xuanjin, and the woman was called Yang Tao. The bearded male cultivator was called Qi Yang. There was another person wearing a mask on his face. That mask was obviously a pretty good treasure. When Qin Feng looked at his face, he felt like he was looking at flowers in a fog. When he turned his head, he would completely forget that person's appearance. This guy was called Prunga. Everyone followed Hong Fei up the mountain. Along the way, they encountered a few Class 5 green snakes and a dozen or so Class 4 gray wolves. However, the strength of these beasts was obviously not enough, and they were easily killed by everyone. When they were halfway up the mountain, a cave appeared in front of them. Hong Fei's eyes lit up as he said, "This is the entrance to the ancient martial ruins. This is the mark I made the last time I was here." Qin Feng looked in the direction of Hong Fei's finger. There was a cauldron carved at the entrance of the cave. It was the same as the cauldron, embroidered on Hong Fei's chest. When they saw the mark, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed like the ancient warrior ruins that Hong Fei had mentioned were true. His purpose of looking for them was indeed to explore the ruins. The crowd that had been silent along the way started to speak. "Elder Hong, when did you discover this place? How can you be sure that it is an ancient warrior ruins inside?" Qi Yang, who had a full beard, asked. "I came here 3 months ago to look for a place to break through and accidentally found this cave. I originally planned to go into the cave to break through, but I didn't expect that there would be a Class 6 formation at the entrance of the cave. A normal cave would not have such a formation, so I guess that this is an ancient warrior ruins. Even if it is not a ruin, it must be a place where a powerful senior cultivator went into seclusion. There must be a lot of treasures inside." Hong Fei's explanation was very reasonable. Qi Yang had already hit the entrance of the cave with his palm. A wall flashed and blocked Qi Yang's ferocious palm energy. Everyone believed that there was indeed a formation at the entrance of the cave, and it was not an ordinary formation. Among the crowd, only Qin Feng was proficient in formations. He knew that Hong Fei was right. There was indeed a Class 6 master formation at the entrance of the cave. As for what kind of formation it was, Qin Feng could not understand it at the moment. "Elder Hong, A Class 6 formation has reached the level of a master formation. None of us here understand formations, so how can we enter the cave? Bo Swanjan asked. Brother Boo, don't worry. Although we don't understand this formation, I can feel that the aura of the formation is very weak. This formation has probably existed for 100 years, so I gathered everyone here to break the formation together. Hearing that it was a formation that had existed for 100 years, the crowd's eyes flashed with joy. Since this formation was so powerful, they believed that the treasures in the cave would not be too bad. Pungo, who was wearing a mask, said, I'm not worried about breaking the formation. Elder Hong has already entered the empty god realm, and we have 4 cultivators at the peak of the true spirit realm. Breaking the formation is only a matter of time. I'm worried that when we break the formation or enter the cave, what if other cultivators come? After all, Panlong Mountain is not remote, and there are often cultivators who come here to train or break through. Many people frowned. Peng Ji's worries were not unfounded. Before everyone could think of a solution, Pengge continued. How about this? After we break the formation, I'll stand guard outside while everyone goes in to search for treasures. His suggestion was immediately accepted by everyone. After all, to everyone, there were treasures in the cave. If Pengge did not enter the cave, there would be one less person to split the treasures. Even if they still had to give Pengge some things after this, the truly good treasures would definitely be taken by everyone. However, Qin Feng did not understand what Pengge was doing. They did not know each other, so why would this guy be so kind? What made Qin Feng the most suspicious was that Pengge only suggested to stand guard outside the cave, but he did not even mention sharing some of the treasures with everyone. This did not make sense at all. No matter what, Qin Feng saw that everyone had agreed, so he did not question Pengge. That would only bring him unnecessary trouble. After everyone discussed, they prepared to break the formation. Qin Feng purposely stood at the back to see what Hong Fei was going to do. However, he found out that the old man was actually lying. Perhaps he really did not understand formations, but he knew about the formation in front of him. Pengge, go to the northwest corner. Brother Boo, stand over there with Yang Tao. Brother Black Pockmarked, you go to the front. Hong Fei began to arrange the positions. After everyone was arranged, he arranged for Qin Feng to stand at the easternmost corner. Qin Feng suddenly had the same feeling as when he broke the 7-star formation with Hu Sui and the others at White Spirit Mountain. However, he still could not see through the formation in front of him. This feeling was not good. It was like knowing that there was an assassin hiding in the dark, but not being able to find the assassin. Master, you should buy the Formation Compendium. It will be very helpful for you to improve your formation skills in the future, Little Pig suggested at this crucial moment. Qin Feng immediately entered the system and found the Formation Compendium in his inventory. This secret manual was the same price as the Medicinal Compendium, which was 500,000 Hedonist points. After Qin Feng thought about the usage of the Medicinal Compendium, he bought the Formation Compendium without hesitation. Ding! Host has spent 500,000 Hedonist points and successfully bought the Formation Compendium. Total Hedonist points, 1,429,000. Host needs 2 million Hedonist points to advance to rank 9 Hedonist Mortal. Host, keep up the good work. Qin Feng flipped through the Formation Compendium briefly after he got his hands on it. This secret manual recorded a lot of information about formations and the methods to break them. He immediately searched for the characteristics of the formation in the cave. Soon, he found the corresponding formation in the Formation Compendium. The formation at the entrance of the cave was a rank 6 master formation called the 7 Snakes Formation. The 7 Snakes Formation was similar to the 7-star formation in that there was a killing formation hidden within the defensive formation. After he figured out the 7 Snakes Formation, Qin Feng immediately realized that Hong Fei was up to no good. He knew the existence of the 7 Snakes Formation, which was why he gathered 6 cultivators to search for treasures with him. At the same time, Qin Feng also understood why Hong Fei dragged him, a Buddha's light stage cultivator, into the group. It was because Hong Fei arranged the position of the killing formation for him, and that old man only dragged him to make up the numbers to break the formation. After he figured out the situation, Qin Feng suppressed the anger in his heart. However, he pretended to stand at the position of the killing formation as if he didn't notice anything. "Fellow Taoists, are you ready?" Hong Fei shouted. "Yes. Then let's start breaking the formation. Everyone just needs to attack in the direction of my attack. Although this formation has weakened, it is still a rank 6 master formation. Everyone, don't hold back and break the formation as soon as possible to find the treasures. Then, you can return to Panshan Market and participate in the exploration of the 13 palaces." Hong Fei's words were filled with temptation. Whether it was the treasures in the ancient martial ruins or the 13 palaces, they were things that everyone wanted. Therefore, when Hong Fei made his first palm strike, everyone immediately launched a fierce attack. Looking at their stance, they really didn't hold back. The joint attack of a Void God Realm Spiritual Master and 4-peak True Spirit Realm Spiritual Masters was incomparably fierce. In just half a day, the 6th level 7 snake array was already showing cracks. Seeing this, Hong Fei shouted out in pleasant surprise, "The array is about to break. Everyone put in more effort." Rumble. For a moment, all kinds of attacks rained down like rain, and Qin Feng was no exception. He kept attacking fiercely, but he suppressed his strength to the level of a cultivator with 7 transformations of Buddha aura. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, an earth-shattering explosion resounded, and the entire mountain peak shook violently. The 6th level 7 snake formation was broken. Puff! A person flew out and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in the air. The crowd was stunned, and Peng Ge rushed over first. "Elder Hong, are you okay?" The others also ran over. "Huh? Isn't the formation broken? Why is Elder Hong injured? This formation is strange. There should be a killing formation hidden inside, but Elder Hong happened to bump into it." Black Pockmark frowned and analyzed. Chapter 1856. Knowing that there was a killing array hidden in the array, the few of them were terrified. At the same time, they were glad that the killing array appeared in Hong Fei's direction. Hong Fei was injured even with his virtual god realm cultivation. If they had encountered the killing array, they might have died immediately. At this moment, only Qin Feng knew the reason for all this. He had copied the method he used on White Spirit Mountain's 7-star array to trick Frost Ginseng and the others. After Hong Fei vomited a few mouthfuls of blood, he immediately took out a few healing elixirs and ate them. After 15 minutes, he slowly opened his eyes and scanned everyone's faces. He was sure that he was not standing in the position of the killing array. The killing array should be in the direction where Qin Feng was standing. However, he could not understand why the killing array had moved to where he was. Hong Fei's first thought was that Qin Feng had secretly changed the array. However, he immediately dispelled this thought. With Qin Feng's 7 changes Buddha aura, he was at most less than 100 years old. The 7-snake array was a level 6 array. There were only a few level 6 array masters in the entire South Flat Continent, and all of them were over 100 years old. It was also because Hong Fei didn't understand formations. He didn't know that changing formations and breaking them were 2 completely different concepts. Although Qin Feng couldn't break a level 6 formation by himself, changing a level 6 formation was a piece of cake. "Elder Hong, are you alright?" Seeing Hong Fei stand up, everyone surrounded him and said some polite words. Hong Fei analyzed everyone in his mind, but in the end, he could not determine who was the one who had secretly done this. "Don't worry, everyone. My injuries are fine. Fortunately, the hidden killing array landed on me. If it had landed on any of you, even if you did not die, you would have been severely injured." Hong Fei lied without changing his expression. A few of them were touched, but Qin Feng was filled with disdain. "Elder Hong is indeed a senior. Your magnanimity is worth learning from. Since Elder Hong is injured, we will let Elder Hong choose the treasures we find in the cave later." Hong Fei waved his hand and smiled. "Don't stand on ceremony. It is fate that we came together. Now that the array at the entrance is broken, let's go in together." Everyone could not wait. Peng Ge stood out and said, "As discussed earlier, you guys go in. I will keep watch at the entrance. If anything happens, I will use my flying sword to send a message to you." The cave was pitch black, and a gust of cold wind blew out. Hong Fei was leading the way at the front, holding 2 luminous pearls in his hands. It seemed like he was prepared for this trip. The terrain of this cave was somewhat similar to the Bailing Spirit Mountain that Qin Fun had gone to. Qi Yang and the black pockmarked man felt fear in their hearts. The deeper they went into the cave, the stronger the chilly wind became. This chilly wind was very strange. It could actually penetrate the Zhen Yuan shield of a true spirit realm cultivator. When the chilly wind entered their bodies, they could not help but shiver. "Elder Hong, this doesn't look like an ancient martial arts relic. It looks more like a cave abode for monstrous beasts to cultivate." The black pockmarked man stopped in his tracks. Qi Yang followed and said, "There is no strong spiritual qi in the cave, but there is a gust of evil wind. I feel that we will reach the end if we go on." Because of their words, everyone became nervous, but they heard Hong Fei say, "Don't be afraid, everyone. Since we are already here, let's go to the end first. Even if there are demonic beasts, I will be here. I won't let anyone's lives be threatened." Hearing Hong Fei's words, they gave up the idea of retreating. After all, they had been busy for half a day to enter the cave. No one was willing to leave empty-handed. After walking for a while, Hong Fei suddenly shouted, "Oh no!" Before the people behind him could react, a huge black shadow flew out of the cave. It was as fast as lightning, and in the blink of an eye, it hit Qin Fun and the others and sent them flying. Hiss, hiss, hiss. An ear-piercing sound came from the cave, like the sound of a snake hissing. Under the impact of the black shadow, almost everyone flew into the air. Qin Fun directly hit the rock wall at the top of the cave. Suddenly, the rock layer broke, and Qin Fun spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. He felt that his internal organs were about to be spat out. The others didn't fare much better. Black pockmark flew to the side of the rock wall, and the ordinary spiritual armor on his body shattered on the spot. Qiang was screaming. It turned out that in a moment of desperation, he had grabbed the black shadow and was currently sitting on it while being thrown around. The female cultivator of the couple was the most injured. She was hit on the top of the cave and fell down. She fell to the ground and couldn't get up for a while. "What is that thing?" Black Pockmark finally gasped, his voice trembling. Bo Swanjin didn't have time to care about that monster. He immediately flew to Yang Tao and fed him a few medicinal pills. Qi Yang's voice came out. "It looks like a giant python. I'm sitting on it." Actually, Qiang didn't need to say much. Everyone could see the silhouette of the giant creature. At this moment, the black shadow jumped out, and its huge body almost filled the entire cave. It was indeed a giant python. To be more precise, it was a level 7 demonic beast with a dragon's head. This demonic beast had a snake's body and a dragon's head. It looked extremely strange. When they recognized it, Black Pockmark and the others started to tremble uncontrollably. A normal level 7 spirit beast has the strength of a true spirit realm cultivator. However, this dragon head black python is the king of the level 7 beasts. Even an empty god realm cultivator can kill it. I told you that this cave isn't an ancient martial relic. It's most likely hiding a demonic beast. Now, we can't escape even if we wanna. Where's Elder Hong Fei? Why is he missing? The crowd was thrown into disarray by the appearance of the dragon head black python. At this moment, a white figure flew over. Before the figure arrived, the palm print had already filled up half of the cave. The golden palm print quickly descended and hit the dragon head black python's head. Boom! There was a loud explosion, followed by the strange cry of the black python. Originally, when this dragon-headed black python appeared, it did not attack anyone. When it rushed out, its attack seemed to be just a show of force. However, when Hong Fei's palm landed, it completely angered this level 7 monster. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The strange cry was ear-piercing, as if there was something scratching at the bottom of everyone's hearts. The black python swung its body, bringing with it a chilly wind that once again sent them flying. Qin Feng tried his best to escape, but he couldn't escape. When the cold wind rose, Qin Feng felt a huge suction force pulling him in. He couldn't escape at all. Elder Hong, this demonic beast is too ferocious. Don't provoke it. Let's quickly escape, shouted the black pockmarked man. Qi Yong immediately added, there are no ancient martial relics here. This is the black python's forbidden area for cultivation. We have invaded its territory, which is why it is so irritable. As long as we leave, I believe it will not chase after us. Chapter 1857.
Boom.
As soon as the two of them finished talking, Hong Fei's palm fell again. The cave shook and rocks fell. The black python was completely enraged. Elder Hong, what are you doing? Black Pockmark and the others were also angry. My friends, don't be afraid. With me here, a level 7 black python is nothing to be afraid of. This cave is full of twists and turns.
It is not easy to escape.
It is better to kill the black python. Hong Fei's reason was quite far-fetched. If there was an ancient warrior relic in this cave, it would be reasonable for them to risk their lives to fight the black python. But now, everyone could see that this was the habitat of the black python. Although they were unhappy, they had no way out. The black python was rampaging in the cave. It was obvious that it did not want to let them out. Qi Yong screamed. He was thrown away by the black python. The force of the black python was so great that Qi Yang's body was smashed into the rock wall. A giant shadow flashed. This time, the black python rushed towards Bo Swanjin and Yang Tao. Yang Tao was seriously injured. She was sitting cross-legged in a corner of the cave. Bo Swanjin's expression changed. He did not run away at this critical moment. He jumped in front of Yang Tao. You evil creature, get out of my way. Bo Swanjin roared. A black umbrella appeared in front of him. The black umbrella was originally the size of a palm, but it suddenly became bigger and blocked the entire passage. Qin Feng was blocked on Bo Swanjin's side. Qin Feng was blocked on Bo Swanjin's side, and the place where he was hit was not far from Bo Swanjin. He could clearly see that the black umbrella was spinning very fast, rolling up a gust of black wind. The energy of the black wind was violent, and it swept away the rocks on the rock walls and the ceiling of the cave. Wherever it went, it was like a level 10 hurricane.
Bang! Bang!
When the black wind collided with the dragon-headed black python, a series of chaotic sounds rang out. The black python let out an angry roar and actually charged forward while withstanding the black wind's powerful attack.
Boom!
It was just one hit, but the cave shook violently again. The black umbrella in front of Bo Swanjin suddenly stopped. The black umbrella seemed to require a large amount of true essence to rotate. When the black umbrella stopped, Bo Swanjin spat out a mouthful of blood. He immediately supported his body and urged his true essence to rotate the black umbrella again. The black wind surged, and the black python with the dragon head screamed again, but it did not retreat at all. It continued to charge forward against the pressure of the black wind. After a few charges, Bo Swanjin could not take it anymore. With a loud explosion, the black umbrella exploded into pieces and fell to the ground. Bo Swanjin flew to Qin Feng's side. Brother Qiao Feng, I can't hold on much longer. Please save my beloved wife and bring her out alive. Bo Swanjin looked at Qin Feng with a pleading expression. He looked helpless. He probably thought that Qin Feng couldn't even protect himself, so it was impossible for him to bring Yang Tao out. However, he just so happened to land next to Qin Feng. Furthermore, he was so severely injured that he didn't even have the strength to stand up. Bo Swanjin was at his wit's end, so he placed his only hope on Qin Feng. Brother Qiao, you came here to find a place to go to the 13 palaces, right? Don't count on Hong Fei, that old thief. Although I don't know why he tricked everyone to come here, he definitely won't keep his promise. If you can bring Yang Tao out alive, I have a way to help you get a place. Qin Feng was really interested in the 13 palaces. He planned to return to Panshan Market after this ancient warrior ruins exploration was over. Plus, he already knew that there was something wrong with Hong Fei. He didn't believe that the old man would give him a place. However, the black python with the dragon head was too strong. If Qin Feng didn't take out the 100-mile light sniper, he would be in trouble. But when he thought about the place to go to the 13 palaces, he was tempted. Okay, I'll try my best. Qin Feng quickly made a decision. The reason why I'm helping Brother Bo is not just because of the place. Brother Bo's feelings for Sister Yang are very deep. It's very touching. Qin Feng's voice was still floating in the air. His body had already turned into a black shadow and shot out. After the black python broke through Bo Lianjin's black umbrella, it rushed towards Yang Tao. As for the black umbrella, Qin Feng had looked at it carefully. He was sure that it was at least a low-grade true weapon. He didn't expect it to be destroyed by the black python. Thinking about it, he felt that it was a pity. However, it was clearly not the time to think about this. Qin Feng leaped and appeared in front of Yang Tao. While in the air, he slashed with his saber. Rumble. The dark cave was illuminated by a golden light. Qin Feng didn't dare to use the Zhen-Yi sword and the Dragon Quake spear. Those were high-grade true weapons and would definitely attract everyone's attention. Although the situation was very dangerous, he didn't think that he would be forced to use his trump card. There was a loud explosion. Qin Feng used 70% of his strength in that slash. Even a cultivator at the early stage of the true spirit realm would be killed by his slash. However, the black python's body only swayed slightly. Then, it immediately flew over again. Qin Feng was shocked by the power of this rank 7 demonic beast. Before he could regain his senses, the black python's huge dragon head was already close to him. However, there was another loud explosion, and the black python was forced to take a few steps back. Brother Qiao, don't be in a daze. How is Brother Qi Yang's injury? Why isn't Elder Hong Fei helping? Since we can't escape, then let's join hands and kill this demonic beast. It turned out that the black pockmarked man had rushed over to save Qin Feng. He was holding a pair of golden axes in his hands. When the axes fell, half of the cave was filled with violent axe chi. The loud sound was earth-shattering. It felt like the cave was about to collapse. Just as his voice fell, a black shadow flashed. It was Qi Yang who landed beside the two of them. Another white shadow flew directly towards the dragon-head black python. It was Hong Fei, who had disappeared for a long time. When he appeared again, he didn't say anything. From his posture, it seemed like he wanted to fight to the death with the black python. Elder Hong, what are you doing? The impact of this demonic beast is not inferior to an early-stage Nihility God Realm cultivator. We should mainly attack from afar. It is best not to get close. Qi Yang and the black pockmarked man were confused by Hong Fei's actions. They quickly reminded him. However, Hong Fei didn't seem to hear them. He sped up and rushed in front of the black python.
Bang!
The sound of the collision was louder than before. The innermost area of the cave collapsed. Hong Fei was trapped in the ruins. He didn't come out for a long time. The impact was fierce. The dragon-head black python seemed to be seriously injured. However, the black python didn't die. It just lay on the ground for a while. Its huge body swayed and shook off the boulders on its body. This evil beast is really lucky. It didn't die. The black pockmarked man's expression was dignified. Qi Yang said, "Is Elder Hong Fei dead? Even he is not a match for the dragon-head black python. If we continue to fight, we will die. Let's quickly leave this place. The cave behind us is sealed. How do we get out?" Yang Tao's injuries seemed to have recovered a lot. At this time, she was guarding Bo Swanjin. Chapter 1858. With the black python in front of them, their escape route was blocked. This time, Qin Feng and the others had no other choice. They could only brace themselves and fight with the black python. It seemed that Hong Fei was really dead. After a long time, there was no movement in the ruins. Qin Feng and the others used their divine senses to check the ruins, but there was no sign of life. Although the black python was seriously injured by Hong Fei's palm, its eyes still emitted a strong desire to fight. During this time, no one attacked the black python because everyone was injured in the fight. The cave fell into a standoff. In the darkness, there was a cold wind blowing. Both sides were adjusting their bodies. After the time it took to burn a stick of incense, Black Pockmark suddenly jumped up with his axe. It seemed that his injury was the lightest. I will stall this evil beast first. Everyone quickly recover, and then help me kill it.
Boom.
The roar was accompanied by the descent of the axe chi, causing the dragon-head black python's body to split open with a thumb-thick gash. This axe chi once again enraged it, and, regardless of the condition of its injuries, its body swept out horizontally, bringing with it a shower of gravel. Although it dodged the attack, the black python's body was too big. It directly hit Black Pockmark. The impact was like a car crash. Black Pockmark coughed up blood in the air and fell to the ground, unable to stand up. That black python did not stop. It swung its body again like a huge mountain flying over. Just as it was about to land on the crowd, Qiang raised his sword. Yang Tao raised her jade-like hand and pulled out the long whip from her waist. Her cultivation level was much lower, so her attack was not as ferocious as Qi Yang's. Quickly send a flying sword message to Pringa. Tell him to open the cave. Bo Swanjin shouted. At this critical moment, he finally thought of Pringa. Everyone's eyes brightened as if they had found a chance of survival. Only Qin Fun's heart was heavy. He had doubts about Pengji's idea of guarding the cave entrance. Now that the fight in the cave was so fierce, it was impossible for Pringa not to notice. However, he did not do anything. Clearly, he did not intend to help them. Qi Yang and Yang Tao's attack forced the black python to retreat. Taking advantage of the gap, Qi Yang immediately took out a flying sword to send a message to Pringa. Qin Feng didn't care if the flying sword pierced through the rock and flew out of the cave. He was already sitting cross-legged on the ground, his hands moving quickly. "Brother Qiao, what are you doing?" Black Pockmark asked. "Seniors, please stall the black python first. I have a way to kill it." Naturally, Qin Feng was setting up an array. He planned to set up a level 5 trap array. When he first came to the South Plateau continent, Dark Glory had given him many level 5 array discs. Now it was time to put them to good use. Actually, when Qin Feng was in the northern sand region, he had used a rank 5 trap array to kill the Red Flower Hall's hall master Bai Zhanfei. However, Bai Zhanfei was only in the true spirit realm at the time, while the dragon-head black python in front of him was comparable to an early-stage Nihility God realm cultivator. The rank 5 trap array couldn't trap it for long. However, Qin Feng did not plan to trap it for long. As long as he could temporarily trap it, he believed that with the combined attacks of the peak true spirit cultivators, he would be able to kill it. If it was really difficult to kill it, Qin Feng planned to take out the 100-mile light sniper. However, no one could understand what he was doing because the people in the cave did not understand arrays. Seeing that Qin Feng was not doing anything, Qiang shouted angrily, "Don't waste time. Attack the black python together." Qin Feng did not have time to explain. He could tell that Qiang and the others could not hold on for long. If the peak true spirit cultivators lost their ability to fight, he felt that even if he took out the 100-mile light sniper, he would not be able to kill the black python in this narrow cave. "You are really infuriating. If we can get out of here alive today, I will not forgive you." Qiang was furious, but he could not deal with Qin Feng. Now that both Swanjin and Black Pockmark were resting, he was basically blocking the black python by himself. He was still a bit weaker. After holding on for the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the black python's huge body slammed into his abdomen, almost breaking him in half. Yang Tao was not much better. She was blown away by the black python's yin qi. Her body hit the hard rock wall, and when she landed, she was unconscious. "Evil creature, Father will go all out with you." Yang Tao's life and death were unknown, so Bo Swanjin was filled with rage. He did not care about the chaotic true essence in his body as he sent out a palm strike. The cave shook again. The power of this palm strike was much weaker than the black umbrella attack from before, but the black python's body was still shaking. It seemed like its injuries had reached a point where it could not hold on much longer. Black Pockmark quickly joined the battle. The two peak true spirit cultivators working together did not have an advantage. The attacks from both sides were getting weaker and weaker, but the injuries they caused were increasing. It was unknown how much blood Bo Swanjin spat out before he fell to the ground. He just happened to fall next to Yang Tao. He grabbed Yang Tao's hand and closed his eyes as he laid down, leaving his life and death up to the heavens. His uncle, Peng Ge, that lowly person, actually ran away. Seeing that no one had come to help, Black Pockmark realized that it was impossible for Peng Ge to come. At this time, he was covered in blood. He was even kneeling on the ground, using his axes to support himself. Looking at the entire cave, Qin Feng's injuries were the lightest. In the fierce battle just now, he did not care at all, as if he did not care about anything. Although Qi Yang was very unhappy with his actions, he was amazed at his mental fortitude.
Schwa.
Suddenly, Qin Feng clapped his hands and countless array flags scattered around the black python's body. The black python seemed to feel something was wrong, and immediately jumped up and rushed towards Qin Feng. But just as it rushed halfway, a light curtain appeared out of thin air. When the black python hit the light curtain, there was a loud bang, and it was blocked. What is going on? Black Pockmark was shocked. He thought he was going to die. Trap array? This is a high-level trap array. Have you been setting it up all this time? Qiang asked one question after another, looking as if he had just woken up. The moment the black python hit the array, Qin Feng could clearly feel the fierce energy fluctuations of the array. Much of the energy was scattered, causing the trapping effect of the array to weaken. At this moment, he even wanted to take out the ghost face soul banner, but that thing was a ghost cultivator's sacred object. He was afraid that if he took it out, it would make everyone jealous. Seniors, I have set up a level 5 trap array. It can trap the black python for about the time it takes for 2 incense sticks to burn. Everyone quickly attack together and kill the black python. The crowd was stunned. When everyone had the mentality of death in their hearts, Qin Feng brought them hope. Black Pockmark had already swung his axe. The fierce axe Qi exploded the black python's skin. Qi Yang saw that the black python was really trapped by the array. After a few attacks, it still could not break through the air barrier. He immediately forced his body to attack. The fierce sword Qi fell to the ground like rain. Chapter 1859. Rumble. Suddenly, Bo Swanjin, Qi Yang, and He Pockmarked joined the battle. Under the joint efforts of the 3 peak true spirit masters, the level 5 trap formation exploded. The entire cave shook violently, as if it was going to collapse at any time. The black python could no longer hold on, and its huge body smashed into the ground, creating a huge pit. Before it died, it looked at Qin Feng resentfully. If it wasn't for Qin Feng's level 5 trap formation, it wouldn't have fallen to such a fate. Almost at the moment when the dragon-head black python collapsed, the level 5 trap formation couldn't hold on any longer. It exploded into pieces and fell to the ground. Black Pockmarked and the other 2 also fell from the sky. This time, they had truly exhausted their Zhenyuan. Brother Qiao, thank you. Otherwise, we would all have died here. He Pockmark's voice was weak. Bo Swanjin was shocked. I didn't expect Brother Qiao to be a level 5 formation master. This is really unexpected. Qiang said, Brother Qiao, that's a level 7 demonic beast, dragon-headed black python. Its skin is a top-notch material for refining defensive armor. Now that we're all heavily injured, we'll have to trouble Brother Qiao to skin the black python. Qin Feng did not need Qi Yang to say this. He also planned to take something from the black python. In fact, the black python's skin was not the best treasure. The level 7 demon beast had formed a demon core. The demon core was like the core of a true spirit realm cultivator. It stored a lot of energy. Some demon cultivators could speed up their breakthrough by devouring the demon cores of other demon beasts. Qin Feng also knew that Li Tao's bloodline divine skill had this effect. However, Li Tao mainly devoured the blood of spirit beasts to increase his strength, which was similar to devouring demon cores. Qin Feng quickly cut off the python's skin and took out its demonic core. This was a purple demonic core that was about the size of a rubber ball. When the demonic core was taken out, a cold wind blew, shocking everyone. No wonder this black python is so powerful. It even killed Elder Hong, who was at Empty God Realm. Its demon core is a sign of a breakthrough. Brother Qiao, you contributed the most in killing this demon beast. You can have the demon core. As for the python skin, how about we split it equally? When the black pockmarked man saw the demonic core, his eyes flashed with a bright light. However, that light disappeared in a flash, and he quickly calmed down. Everyone agreed with Pockmark Wang's suggestion, so Qin Feng didn't stand on ceremony and put the demonic core into his storage ring. At the same time, he felt a lingering fear in his heart. So this was a black python that was about to become a rank 8 demonic beast. After stowing the demon core away, he planned on leaving, but a palm-sized tablet slid out from the black python's body. Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. He recognized the tablet with a single glance. It was actually a grade 9 spirit turtle shell. After wiping away the bloodstains on the tablet, Qin Feng confirmed that it was a spirit turtle shell, and it seemed to be a pair with the spirit turtle shell he had bought from the Starken artifact forge recently. With that thought, Qin Feng immediately took out his spirit turtle shell. When he put the two turtle tablets together, the gap actually fitted perfectly. What's going on? Qin Feng was momentarily confused. He was unable to connect the turtle tablet from the Starken artifact forge to the turtle tablet in this cave. However, many thoughts flashed through his head. He guessed that the turtle tablet with the soul seal was some kind of trigger tablet. Perhaps due to some reason, one of the tablets had been separated and ended up in different places. One of them ended up in the Starken artifact forge, while the other was devoured by the dragon-headed black python. Thinking further, Qin Feng suspected that Hong Fei knew about this turtle tablet, and that the old man had probably come to this cave on Coiled Dragon Mountain in search of this turtle tablet. However, Qin Feng was slightly puzzled. With Hong Fei's strength, it was impossible for him to die so easily. However, he had indeed died. Not only had Qin Feng seen him die, but everyone else had as well. Brother Qiao, what's happened? Seeing Qin Feng crouch beside the black python without moving for a long time, the black pockmarked man's tone became nervous. Qin Feng hurriedly put away the turtle tablet and dragged the python skin over to the crowd. It's nothing. This black python is too big. It took me a long time to peel off its skin. Because everyone was seriously injured, no one had used their soul to check on Qin Feng's situation. Now that Qin Feng had dragged the python skin over, no one suspected anything. Everyone started to divide the python skin. After getting the second turtle tablet, Qin Feng wasn't too interested in the python skin. His portion was cut by the black pockmarked man, so he got more than the others. However, Qin Feng didn't mind. After another hour, everyone's injuries had stabilized. At least, there were no obstacles in their normal movements. Qiyong stood up and said, "Everyone, I'll go first. See you later." As soon as he finished speaking, Qiyong disappeared into the cave. Not long after, a loud noise came from outside. Everyone knew that it was the sound of Qiyong smashing the stone blocking the cave entrance. "Oh no!" Qin Feng suddenly shouted. The three people immediately frowned and looked at him. Qin Feng sighed again. "It's too late. I hope I'm just overthinking." The three people were confused by his sudden behavior, but since Qin Feng didn't say anything, they didn't ask. "Seniors, don't go out alone. Let's leave together." Qin Feng stood up. Although he didn't say anything, the three people could guess what was going on. They suddenly thought of Pringo, who was guarding the cave entrance. Did he escape, or was he waiting outside? If Pringo didn't leave, he might ambush everyone. Since he didn't enter the cave to help, he must be up to no good. Thinking of this, the black pockmarked man frowned and said, "Brother Qiao, why don't we rest in the cave first? It won't be too late to go out after we recover." Both Swanjin and Yang Tao nodded. They also didn't think it was a good idea to go out now. If Pringo really didn't leave, even if everyone joined forces, they wouldn't be able to defeat him. The three people's concerns were not wrong. However, they had overlooked Qin Feng's strength. Although Qin Feng was injured, his injuries were negligible. Moreover, he didn't use his trump card when he defeated the dragon-headed black python. He wasn't afraid of Pringa. If this guy was really up to no good and was guarding the cave entrance to rob them, Chinfin would shoot him in the head. Seniors, if you trust me, then follow me out. Although the black python is dead, the cave is filled with Enchi. No one can be sure that there are no other hidden dangers. Chinfin's words made the three people nervous. In fact, they hadn't reached the deepest part of the cave. It was unknown whether there were other monsters in the cave. Now that there were wolves in front and tigers behind, the three people were very depressed. After a while, the black pockmarked man stood up and said to Chinfin, "Okay, I will go with Brother Qiao." Seeing that Chinfin and the black pockmarked man were about to leave, Bo Swanjin immediately pulled Yang Tao up and said to Chinfin, "Brother Qiao, it was all thanks to you that we were able to kill the dragon-headed black python. I will keep my promise to you. Once we leave this place alive, I will take you to a place." Chinfin nodded. He quite liked Bo Swanjin's character. He was honest and trustworthy. At the same time, he had a good impression of the black pockmarked man. Qiong was not a bad person. This time, everyone was tricked by Hong Fei. As for Peng Ge, he wasn't a good person either. The three people followed Chinfin to the entrance of a cave. Their realms were much higher than Chinfin's, but in their eyes, Chinfin was their only hope of survival. Soon, there was light in front of them. The black pockmarked man shouted excitedly, "Let's go out! Let's go out!" Chinfin, who had been hurrying along, slowed down his pace at this moment. He used his divine sense to sweep out, and after discovering that there were no hidden dangers outside the cave entrance, he heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. He leaped and took the lead to rush out of the cave entrance. The sun and the breeze made Chinfin feel as if he had been reborn. The feeling of fighting with the level 7 demon in the dark and cold cave was really torturous. We really made it out. We actually made it out alive. The moment Bo Swanjin stepped out of the cave with Yang Tao, he felt like he was dreaming. Not long ago, he held Yang Tao's hand and waited for death to come. Who would have thought that he would be able to see the sun again? However, before they could celebrate for too long, they heard a burst of laughter. "Ha! It's too early to celebrate. Hurry up and hand over all the treasures you found, and I will let you live." The four people's expressions changed, and they all looked towards the source of the voice. A black shadow flashed by, and Peng Ge was standing on top of the mountain. Chinfin wasn't the only one who noticed that Peng Ge was wearing a magic mask. The three people also noticed that this guy's appearance was very special. When you didn't look at him, you couldn't remember what he looked like. Chinfin had long suspected that Peng Ge hadn't left, but when he appeared, Chinfin was still very surprised. He had just used his divine sense to search the cave, and there was no aura within a few hundred meters of the cave. He didn't know where Peng Ge was hiding. Could he even block divine sense? Now wasn't the time to think about this. Chinfin immediately stood in front of the three people. He looked coldly at Peng Ge and said, "There was only one level 7 demon in the cave. We almost died in the cave. It's fine if you didn't come in to help, but do you want to rob us?" Peng Ge didn't feel that his actions were inappropriate. He smiled and said, "Haha, the South Pingzhou state has always been a place where the strong prey on the weak. If you want to blame someone, blame yourselves for being too naive and not having any social experience. Today, I'll just treat it as me giving you a free lesson. Cut the crap, hand over your storage rings, and scram." Although Peng Ge didn't plan to kill them, stealing everyone's storage rings was worse than killing them. The black pockmarked man was instantly enraged. He stepped forward and stood shoulder to shoulder with Chinfin. "Peng Ge, you little ant. You're only at the peak of the true spirit realm. Do you think we're afraid of you?" Bo Swanjin immediately understood what the black pockmarked man was thinking. He wanted to use numbers to suppress Peng Ge. He immediately pulled Yang Tao over to Chinfin's side. Although he didn't say anything, his cold eyes said everything. Chapter 1860. Facing the pressure of two peak true spirit cultivators, Peng Ge didn't show any fear. He laughed and said, "Ha! Let's not talk about the fact that you were seriously injured in the cave. Even if you were at your peak, so what? Did you not notice that there was someone missing? Not long ago, that brat Qiang was as arrogant as you. In the end, he was killed by me, and even his spirit pill was burned to ashes. Qin Fun had guessed that Qiang was going to be killed, but he didn't think that he would be right. However, there were some things that he couldn't understand. Even if Qiang was seriously injured, he was still a peak true spirit cultivator. Qin Fun and the others didn't follow him for long, only the time it took for an incense stick to burn. How could Pingge kill Qiang in that time? This was hard for Qin Fun to accept. Not only that, Qin Fun couldn't understand why Pingge was so confident. Even if Black Pockmark and Bo Swanjin were injured in the cave, the two peak true spirit cultivators were here, and their strength couldn't be underestimated. Also, why didn't his divine sense skin Pingge when he came out of the cave? When these thoughts appeared in his mind, Qin Fun's expression changed. At this moment, a black shadow flashed by with an extremely oppressive aura. Elder Hong Fei? How are you still alive? Impossible. We saw Elder Hong die in the cave with our own eyes. Who are you? Black Pockmark and Bo Swanjin exclaimed. Yang Tao was so scared that she couldn't speak. The moment Qin Fun thought of Hong Fei's figure, this old man appeared. At this moment, Qin Fun understood many things. He blamed himself for being too stupid. He should have thought of this earlier. With Hong Fei's Nihility God Realm cultivation, how could he die in the cave? However, the Hong Fei in the cave did die, but it was just a clone of him. As for why Pingge was so fearless, it was because of Hong Fei's appearance. This was easy to explain. The two of them were originally together. Qin Fun also understood why his divine sense did not scan Pingge. It was because his divine sense was blocked by Hong Fei. With Hong Fei's empty God Realm cultivation, it was very easy for him to interfere with Qin Fun's divine sense. When the truth was revealed, Qin Fun was filled with anger. He, Black Pockmarked, and the others had teamed up with good intentions to search for treasures. However, they had been tricked by Hong Fei and Pingge from the very beginning. Qiang had been killed. Although Qin Fun had nothing to do with him, they had fought a life-and-death battle not long ago. You bunch of ants still can't see the truth. Serves you right for ending up like this. Hong Fei laughed. The Black Pockmarked man and divination were so angry that their faces turned pale. However, in the face of the power of a hollow spirit state cultivator, they couldn't even say a word. Hong Fei continued, I won't make things difficult for you. As long as you hand over the treasures found in the cave and your own treasures, I can spare your lives. The Black Pockmarked man's body was trembling with rage. Divination was also furious. He wanted to slap Hong Fei. However, he looked at Yang Tao, who was standing next to him, and shook his head and sighed. This cave is the habitat of the black python. We only found the python's skin. If you want it, you can have it. Also, I'll give you my storage ring. You'd better keep your promise and let Yang Tao and me go. Divination had no choice but to compromise. Even if he wasn't afraid of death, he didn't want to see Yang Tao die in front of him. Hong Fei glanced at the python's skin on the ground. He didn't even look at Divination's storage ring. He said coldly, Only the python's skin? Are you kidding me? If you want to leave here alive, you'd better do as I say. Diviner Zhen seemed to have thought of something. He looked at Qin Feng awkwardly and said, Brother Qiao, take out the Yao core. Otherwise, we'll all die. There's no point in keeping those worldly possessions. Diao Xuan really thought that what Hong Fei wanted was the beast core, but he saw Hong Fei's face turn cold as he roared, A level 7 beast core is nothing. One of you must have found the turtle medallion. Don't try to play dumb with me. If you don't hand it over, I will start a massacre. The Black Pockmarked man and the other two were confused. They didn't know about the turtle plate. Qin Fun had guessed that Hong Fei was here to find the turtle plate. Now, it seemed that Hong Fei was right. He suddenly felt lucky that Hong Fei was still alive. This way, he could ask Hong Fei about the turtle plate. If the Black Pockmarked man and the other two knew about this, he would be depressed. It seems that you're all tired of living. Then, I'll fulfill your wish. Hong Fei waited for a while. His patience was exhausted. A violent aura surged from his body. He suddenly looked at Qinfen. Obviously, he wanted to kill Qinfen, who he thought had the lowest cultivation. However, before he could make a move, Punga turned into a black shadow and shot over. Elder Hong, there is no need for you to personally deal with this ant. Let this disciple do it for you. His voice was still floating in the air when Punga arrived in front of Qinfen. His palm came to suddenly. When the black pockmarked man and divination Jin recovered, their faces immediately revealed looks of despair. It was obvious that they didn't even have the chance to help. When the two of them thought that Qinfen was going to die, Qinfen was secretly happy. If he faced Hong Fei alone, he had some confidence in taking him down. However, now that there was Punga, who was at the peak of the true spirit realm, Qinfen didn't dare to act rashly. Unexpectedly, Punga came to his door. This was exactly what Qinfen wanted. With a slight thought, a dazzling long spear appeared in Qinfen's arms. What kind of damn weapon is this? It's really ugly. You're just a cultivator at the late Buddha light realm, and you want to resist a peak spirit detecting realm cultivator? What a joke. Even when he saw Qinfen take out the 100-mile light sniper, Punga still had a sneer on his face. He didn't even put up any defenses. Instead, he rushed towards Qinfen.
Boom.
With a loud bang, Qinfen fired the light sniper. The weather changed, and several lightning tigers exploded in the air, instantly forming a sea of lightning. In the sea of lightning, explosions rang out endlessly. The air was torn apart, and it was a scene of destruction. Peng Ji's expression instantly changed. He felt an incomparably strong aura of death, but before he could escape, his body was struck by lightning. The spiritual armor on his body instantly shattered, and even his body exploded into a flower of blood. This is the Void God Realm lightning tribulation? Hong Fei's face revealed a look of shock. The black pockmarked man and divination Jin's mouths were wide open. They rubbed their eyes at the same time, feeling like they were dreaming. But the sea of lightning was still there. Explosions rang out, and the echoes of Peng Ji's dying voice echoed in the air. A peak true spirit realm cultivator had fallen, and he was killed in one move by a Buddha light realm cultivator. Several gazes fell on the 100-mile light sniper in Qinfen's hand. They all had different expressions. The black pockmarked man and the other two realized that Qinfen had conserved his strength in the cave. If he had taken out the divine weapon earlier, he would have killed that black python in one move. Chapter 1861.
Boom.
After killing Punga with one shot, Qinfen didn't stop and immediately fired at Hong Fei. Actually, Qinfen planned to hide the 100-mile light sniper until the last moment. It would be best if he could kill Hong Fei with one shot. However, Peng Ji's attack was too sudden. Although Qinfen killed him, he had to expose the existence of the 100-mile light sniper. Therefore, he didn't care about the consequences and immediately attacked Hong Fei. When the sea of lightning landed on Hong Fei's head, he suddenly woke up. Void God Lightning Test. It really is the Void God Lightning Test. How did you do it? As he dodged, Hong Fei didn't forget to ask. It was unbelievable that a Buddha Light Realm cultivator could summon the Void God Lightning Test. He was still one step too late. A few lightning arcs exploded on his body. Immediately, the spirit armor on his body exploded, and his white robe was torn. Qinfen's second wave of attack landed at this moment. He didn't know when, but there was a giant bell in front of him. The heaven bell's mouth was facing outwards. When the 100-mile light sniper shot out from the heaven bell, its power suddenly increased. Crackle. Thunder boomed and Hong Fei fell into the sea of lightning. Even though he had already experienced the Void God Realm lightning tribulation and was a cultivator who had survived it, he was still shocked when he saw the power of the sea of lightning again. This was definitely the best time to kill Hong Fei. Qinfen turned the muzzle and aimed at Hong Fei. When he pulled the trigger, there was no shocking lightning as expected. Instead, there was a sound of empty air. What is going on? Qinfen's expression changed. He immediately fired another shot, but it was also empty air. Little Pig's voice immediately sounded, "Master, the lightning source and the energy slot has been used up." Qin Fin was speechless. The energy tank didn't run out earlier or later, but it had to run out at this time. There were still 2 energy star stones left, but the power of the energy star stones was not as fierce as the lightning tribulation. It was fine against Buddha Light Realm and True Spirit Realm cultivators, but it was useless against Godly Void God Realm cultivators. Black Pockmark and Bo Swanjin seemed to feel something was wrong. They looked at Qin Fin with strange eyes. They were wondering why Qin Fin didn't continue to attack. If it was activated 2 more times, Hong Fei would probably be blown to death. The 100-mile sniper rifle was the only way he could kill a Hollow God Realm cultivator. If Hong Fei realized that the 100-mile sniper rifle could no longer be used, the situation would be reversed. At this moment, a ray of white light shot into the sky. It was Hong Fei, who had broken free from the sea of lightning. He felt a lingering fear in his heart. Qin Feng's lightning attack was too fierce. If it had been 2 more times, he felt that he would have lost his life. Grandson surnamed Xiao, why don't you continue? Don't tell me you've used up all your primordial qi? Hong Fei hovered in the air, but he didn't attack Qin Feng. Qin Feng realized that the other party was scared after being beaten, so he immediately pretended to be indifferent and said, "Humph. I naturally have the intention to spare your little life. As long as you tell me the secret of the turtle token, I can spare your life." Hong Fei was infuriated. So the turtle plate was taken by the kid surnamed Xiao. At the same time, he started to worry. It seemed like the other party did not exhaust his essence, but wanted to know the secret of the turtle plate. "I don't know what you are talking about. We might have had some misunderstandings before. Now we have nothing to do with each other. In the future, we will mind our own business." Hong Fei immediately wanted to escape. Even if he had a strong desire to obtain the turtle plate, his life was in danger. What was the point of obtaining the turtle plate? As soon as Hong Fei finished speaking, he turned into a white shadow and disappeared into the distance. Qin Feng immediately chased after him and shouted, "You want to escape from me? Unless you have a rank 7 Earth escape talisman, don't think you can escape from the power of my lightning." A ray of green light flashed in the distant sky. The air shook for a moment, as if the void was torn apart. Hong Fei's figure disappeared. Qin Fin had already landed on the ground. Black pockmarked, and the other 2 were still in a daze. They stared at Hong Fei in disbelief. That old man actually used a rank 7 Earth escape talisman to escape. He was a Nihility God Realm cultivator, but he was forced to use an Earth escape talisman to escape after being beaten by a Buddha Light cultivator. While the 3 of them were still in shock, Qin Feng let out a long sigh of relief. He had said those words to scare Hong Fei so that the old man would escape. Fortunately, the old man had been scared. He had probably been teleported thousands of miles away. If he really wanted to fight to the death, Qin Feng and the others would have died. "Let's leave this place as soon as possible." Qin Feng adjusted his breath and was about to leave. Black Pockmark woke up and said, "We will meet again. I am going to find the token to enter the 13th palace. We will meet again in the 13th palace." Black Pockmark disappeared in the wind. Bo Swanjin pulled Yang Tao to Qin Feng and said, "Brother Qiao, if you can bring me and Yang Tao out alive, I will not break my promise. I will help you get the token to enter the 13th palace. Brother Qiao, please come with us to a place." Qin Feng was waiting for Bo Swanjin's attitude. Seeing that he was honest, Qin Feng was satisfied. "Where are we going?" "Back to my sect, White Deer Sect," Bo Swanjin said. Qin Feng's expression changed. He was on guard. As far as he knew, the people who came to explore were loose cultivators. Because they were loose cultivators, they could not get the token to enter the 13th palace. That was why they were tricked by Hong Fei. Now Bo Swanjin said he had a sect. What was going on? As if reading Qin Feng's mind, Bo Swanjin smiled and said, "Brother Qiao, don't worry. You are Yang Tao's and my savior. We will not harm you. Yang Tao is indeed a loose cultivator, but I am the great elder of the 4-star sect, White Deer Sect. Our sect has 4 spots to enter the 13th palace, and I took one of them, but I wanted to take Yang Tao with me, so I helped her find the token. That was why I was tricked by Hong Fei. After this explanation, Qin Feng understood. Senior Bo, are you going to give your spot to me? Bo Xuanjin nodded and said, Yes, Brother Qiao. Since Yang Tao can't go, then I won't go either. But will your sect leader agree? Qin Feng was worried. Sect leader Bo Xuanjin is reasonable. When I go back, I will explain the situation to him. He will definitely agree. Also, the 13th palace is one of the 8 danger zones of the South Flat Continent. The survival rate is less than 50%. Other than the 5-star and 6-star sects, the other small sects are not willing to let their disciples go. Our White Deer sect is only a small sect in the South Flat Continent. We have a limited number of true spirit realm cultivators. We received 4 spots, but sect leader Bo Xuanjin only wants me and another great elder to go. The remaining 2 spots are empty. Qin Feng was confused. Since the tortoise token has 2 empty spots, why don't you just give one to Yang Tao? Bo Xuanjin revealed a surprised expression. Qin Feng immediately realized that he had asked a stupid question. He might have even exposed his identity as a South Flat Continent cultivator. Brother Qiao, don't you know? The 13 palaces only open once every 10 years, and each time it opens for 3 months, so the spots in the 13 palaces are extremely precious. Normally, even if a small sect doesn't let their disciples go to gain experience, they will still sell the spots for a high price. How could they just casually give it away? Qin Feng immediately understood. It wasn't realistic for White Deer sect to give an outsider, like Yang Tao, a spot for free. After figuring out the situation, Qin Feng followed Bo Xuanjin to White Heron sect. He felt that there was still hope for the quota. Even if sect leader Bo Xuanjin wasn't willing to give Bo Xuanjin's quota to him, he could just buy it with money. Qin Feng didn't think that this trip to Coiled Snake Mountain was a waste. At least he got the 2nd tortoise token. Even if he didn't know the secret of the 2 tortoise tokens, he believed that he would find out sooner or later. The White Deer sect was located on the outskirts of Pan Shan's market. The 3 of them only took half a day to get there. With Bo Xuanjin, the great elder of the sect, leading the way, their journey was smooth. The disciples of the sect had to greet Qin Feng respectfully. Sect leader Bo Xuanjin. The 3 of them entered a grand hall. There was a white-haired old man sitting in the hall. When he saw Bo Xuanjin, he nodded and said, Xuanjin, there are still a few days before the 13th palace opens. Don't run around and prepare. If you can reach Hollow Spirit Realm in this expedition, then our sect's strength will increase. Bo Xuanjin didn't ask about Qin Feng's identity. He was clearly very concerned about the 13th palace's expedition. Bo Xuanjin said, Sect leader, disciple doesn't plan on entering the 13th palace this time. I want to give the spot to Brother Qiao Feng. Bo Yi immediately stood up and shouted excitedly, What? How can you think like that? You have to know how precious the spots in the 13 palaces are. A 4-star sect can only get 4 spots. Our White Deer sect doesn't have many true spirit realm cultivators to begin with, and I don't dare to send those below the late true spirit realm to the 13 palaces. I'm afraid they'll die. Now that the sect's hopes are placed on you and Bo Ti, you actually dare to say such words. Master, please don't be angry. I am unfilial, but I have promised Brother Qiao Feng. If he didn't save my life in the Coiled Snake Mountain, I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to see me now. Seeing that Bo Yi was angry, Bo Xuanjin hurriedly explained. Coiled Snake Mountain? Why did you go there? Bo Xuanjin didn't hide anything and told him what happened. Bo Xuanjin shook his head and sighed. He knew about Bo Xuanjin and Yang Tao. He also reminded Bo Xuanjin many times to cut ties with Yang Tao because it would only affect his cultivation. What do you want me to say to you? AI. Bo Xuanjin sighed. He was so angry that he couldn't say anything. Bo Xuanjin immediately knelt on the ground and sincerely said, Master, disciple is a disgrace to the sect. I'm willing to accept the punishment. However, disciple has already promised Brother Qiao. I hope Master can forgive disciple this time. Otherwise, the White Deer sect will have a bad reputation. Seeing Bo Swanjin go this far, Qin Feng was touched. It didn't matter if Bo Swanjin agreed to give him a spot for free. Qin Feng wouldn't have any other thoughts about Bo Swanjin. Mobile users, please browse to get a better reading experience. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second. Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 1862. Before Bo Li could make a decision, an elder quickly walked into the hall. Sect leader, Godfinger Little Elder is here to see you. Bo Swanjin and Bo Li's expressions turned serious. Godsfinger was a 5-star sect in the Pan-Shan market. Normally, Godsfinger and White Deer sect didn't have much of a relationship. Why would a young elder from Godsfinger suddenly ask to see them? How many? Bo Li asked. Reporting to sect leader, there's only one young elder. His name is Shin Shuhan, and he's at the peak of the true spirit realm. Please come in. The little elder left and quickly brought back a 40-something-year-old man. When Qin Feng saw the man's age, he was shocked. South Flat State's cultivation level was much higher than North Sand State. A 40-something-year-old cultivator reaching true spirit peak was almost impossible in North Sand State. Junior Godfinger Little Elder Shin Shuhan greets sect leader Bo Li. The person wore a black robe with the symbol of Godfinger embroidered on his chest. He was very respectful and didn't look like he was here to cause trouble. Bo Li waved his hand and said, Elder Shin Shuhan, no need to be so polite. What business do you have with White Deer sect? Even though the other party was just a minor elder, he was still a 5-star sect, one finger of God. Thus, Bo Li did not dare to slight him. Shin Shuhan smiled. Sect leader Bo Li, I came to cooperate. I heard that your sect only sent 2 cultivators into 13 palaces. So, my sect leader Godfinger ordered me to buy the other 2 tokens. I hope sect leader Bo Li can help me. Qin Feng and Bo Swanjin frowned when they heard Shin Shuhan's intention. Bo Li was stunned. He didn't expect Godsfinger to target the White Heron sect. But they were a 5-star sect. Rumor had it that Godfinger had reached body condensation realm. Bo Li was only at hollow spirit state and naturally wasn't his match. Sure, but we sent 3 disciples into 13 palaces. There's only 1 free token left. Bo Li didn't think much and agreed. He knew he had no other choice. However, when he said 3 places, he actually included Qin Feng. Qin Feng was relieved, and Bo Swanjin looked at the sect leader with a touched expression. Oh? Could it be that our finger of God's information is wrong? Didn't you only send 2 disciples? Shin Su furrowed his brows. Bo Li was a little unhappy. Even if the Divine Finger sect was a 5-star sect, Shin Shuhan was only a little elder and had only reached the peak of the true spirit realm, yet he dared to question Bo Li's words. Elder Shin Shuhan, our sect had given up 2 spots previously. However, a new spot was added just now. That cultivator is right beside you. Bo, he pointed at Qin Feng. It seemed that he had indeed left a spot for Qin Feng. Shin Su thought that the White Deer sect had another person. When he saw that Qin Feng was only at the 7 Changes Buddha Aura realm, a look of disdain appeared on his face. Humph. Sect leader Bo Yi, I represent the Divine Doctors to cooperate sincerely, but you are trying to fool me with an ant? If sect leader God One Finger finds out about this, I'm afraid he'll be furious. Shun Su used his sect leader to threaten Bo Yi. This attitude angered Bo Swanjin. He stood up from the ground and said, Elder Shin Shuhan, it's our own business who our White Deer sect wants to send into the 13th palace. You don't have the right to interfere, do you? Humph. Of course I don't care about your sect's business. It's just that this time sect leader God One Finger ordered me to bring back 2 spots. Now you are purposely holding on to 1 spot. Aren't you purposely going against God One Finger? Shin Su-hen no longer had the respectful attitude he had when he arrived. Instead, he revealed an arrogant and dissatisfied expression. I say, Shin Su-hen, are you kidding me? All 4 tokens belong to my White Deer sect. To put it bluntly, even if we don't use the 2 extra tokens, it's still our White Deer sect's business. Now, we're willing to sell you one. Do you want to take a yard after giving us an inch? Bu Swanjin said. Shin Su-hen acted as if he didn't see Bu Swanjin's cold expression. He said lazily, I'm not taking a yard after giving you an inch. I'm just asking for 2 spots. The Divine Supreme Continent has always respected the strong. Your White Deer sect is just a 4-star sect. What right do you have to negotiate with me? I don't want to waste my breath. Either hand over the 2 spots, or don't blame me for falling out with you. Shin Su-hen's attitude suddenly became overbearing. Bu Swanjin gritted his teeth. If he wasn't injured in the mountain coiling cave, he would have taught Shin Su-hen a lesson. What an arrogant brat. I want to see what your divine finger can do if my White Deer sect doesn't give us a single spot. Bu Swanjin was enraged. He originally wanted to negotiate, but now they had completely fallen out. Shin Su-hen didn't expect things to turn out this way. He glared coldly at Bu Swanjin and scolded, Good, very good. I think you're tired of living, you old fart. Your White Deer sect, just wait. I'll go back and report to Sect Master Shin Su-hen now. A gust of wind suddenly rose. Shin Su-hen turned into a black shadow and disappeared. No one dared to stop him. This was the rule of the Divine Supreme Continent. The weaker party could only swallow their anger when they were suppressed. After Shin Su-hen left, Bu Swanjin sat back on the stone chair with a solemn expression. He said those harsh words in a moment of anger. Now that he had calmed down, he regretted it. Thank you, Sect Master Bu Swanjin. Bu Swanjin wasn't in the mood to talk about other things. He waved his hand and said, You don't need to thank me. I only gave you the spot because you saved Swanjin's life, but it's useless even if you get the spot. Your realm is too low. You've also incurred the hatred of Divine Finger. I believe that the cultivators that Divine Finger will send to the 13 palaces won't let you and our White Deer sect go. Bu Swanjin sighed and looked at Bu Swanjin. Don't go to the 13 palaces this time. I'll tell Bo Ti not to go as well. Since Yang Tao couldn't enter the 13 palaces, Bu Swanjin didn't want to go. But now, the situation was different. He wasn't willing to be threatened by Divine Finger. Sect Master, I must go this time. That Shin Su-hen is only a peak void god realm. What's there to be arrogant about? He better not let me see him in the 13 palaces. Otherwise, I'll make him regret coming to my White Deer sect. Bu Swanjin shook his head and said, No one can go this time. Do you think Divine Finger will only go to Shin Su-hen? With his strength, he might not even be qualified to go. Even if you really meet Shin Su-hen there, he'll have a void god realm cultivator with him. You'll be the one to die. Bu Swanjin wanted to argue, but Bu Swanjin was firm. But it was a good thing that White Deer sect didn't go to the 13 palaces. Otherwise, he would have to team up with Bu Swanjin and Bo Ti. But he heard that the 13 palaces were dangerous. It was one of the 8 danger zones of South Flat State. Qin Feng thought that he would have to use some of the system's treasures. Mobile users, please browse to get a better reading experience. First, set a small goal. For example, remember in 1 second. Booksellers Mobile. Chapter 1863. The matter was finally settled. White Deer sect wouldn't send any disciples to the opening of the 13 palaces. Although Bo Swan was unwilling, he didn't dare disobey the sect leader's order. Qin Fin successfully obtained one of the tokens. As for the other 3 tokens, they were kept by the White Deer sect. Later on, Qin Fin found out that there was no time limit for the tokens to enter the 13 palaces. In other words, the 3 tokens that White Deer sect kept this year could still be used when the 13 palaces opened again 10 years later. These days, Qin Fin stayed in White Deer sect. First, he had nowhere else to go. Second, he was worried that God's Finger would come for revenge. In the end, the enmity between White Deer sect and God's Finger started because of him. He couldn't just sit back and do nothing. Unexpectedly, God's Finger didn't come looking for him. Seeing that the 13 palaces would open tomorrow, Qin Fin decided to go to Pan Shan Market Square. The 13 palaces teleportation formation was in the wilderness outside of Pan Shan Market Square. Before leaving, Bo Swan called Qin to his room. There was no one else in the room. Qin knew that there was a soundproof formation in the room. He didn't expect Bo Swan to talk to him alone. After entering the room, he didn't say anything and waited for Bo Swan to speak first. Young hero Chiao sit. Bo Swan poured a cup of spirit tea and said, "You're leaving soon. I haven't thanked you for saving Bo Swan's life. I know it's impossible to persuade you not to go to the 13 palaces, but you have to be careful. Since God's finger didn't attack White Deer sect openly, I believe they plan to attack in the 13 palaces." Qin stayed in the White Deer sect for a few days and found that the disciples were very friendly. He had a good impression of the White Deer sect, but it was a pity that he came to the South Plateau continent to find someone and break through. Otherwise, he could develop with the White Deer sect. Sect leader Bo Swan, how much do you know about the 13 palaces? Qin asked. When Bo Lizhi heard this, he knew that Qin was determined to go to the 13 palaces. Bo Lizhi couldn't persuade him otherwise. Although the 13 palaces were extremely dangerous, it was also accompanied by opportunities. Most of the body condensation realm cultivators in the South Flat Continent had advanced by leaps and bounds after obtaining opportunities in the 13 palaces. The 13 palaces are rumored to be a mystic realm passed down from ancient times. Some people say that they are actually the cultivation grounds of ancient almighty beings. There are countless treasures in there, but there are also countless dangers. When a cultivator is teleported in, he will have to find the entrance to a higher level palace by himself in the first palace. The normal method is to enter a higher palace one level at a time. However, there are also a few rumors that say that there are even more hidden teleportation entrances in the 13 palaces that can teleport you to a higher palace. Most of the dangers in the 13 palaces do not come from the palaces themselves, but from the conflicts of interest between cultivators. Every time the palace is open, countless cultivators will lose their lives. It has even developed to the point that it has become a place where sects fight each other. Qin was speechless. The 13 palaces were much more complicated than he had imagined. If that's the case, then wouldn't the 13 palaces become some people's personal holy land? If body condensation realm or cauldron-filling realm cultivators entered, everyone else would be like ants. Qin suddenly retreated. If that was really the case, then he didn't mind not going to the 13 palaces. With his current strength, he would only die if he went. Bo Lizhi shook his head and said, "Of course it's not that exaggerated. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many cultivators trying to enter. The 13 palaces only allow cultivators under 100 years old to enter. If they are over 100 years old, even if they teleport in, they will be instantly ejected." Qin let out a sigh of relief. Cultivators under 100 years old weren't that abnormal. In the North Sand Continent, the strongest cultivator under 100 years old was only at the true spirit realm. Even in the South Flat Continent, where the spiritual qi was denser, there were only hollow god realm experts over 100 years old. As for body condensation realm experts, there hadn't been any. After understanding the situation of the 13 palaces, Qin said his goodbyes. Before he left, Bo Lizhi gave him some pills and formation discs. But because they weren't high grade, they didn't mean much to Qin. When he arrived near the teleportation point, he saw a dense crowd. Qin was shocked. There were at least tens of thousands of people. Were they all cultivators going to enter the 13 palaces? Dao friend, you're also here to explore the 13 palaces? A skinny man came over. Qin was on guard and nodded. The skinny man's eyes lit up. Dao friend, you're only at the 7 changes Buddha light. With this cultivation, you're most likely going to die. Why don't you sell your token to me? You can name any price. Qin didn't think that the spots to enter the 13 palaces would be so popular. A few days ago, God's Finger Elder went to White Deer sect to buy them. There were also people buying outside the teleportation point. However, no matter how high the price was, Qin wouldn't sell his token. It wasn't easy for him to get his token. Moreover, he was more and more curious about the 13 palaces. He was determined to go in and take a look. Sorry, I only have 1 token on me. I want to keep it for myself. Qin firmly refused. The skinny man didn't give up. He flipped his hand and took out a jade bottle. Hee hee. Little brother, don't be in a hurry to refuse. I'm Zhang Fei, a disciple of the 4-star sect, Sea Alliance. This bottle of divine spirit pills is for you as a greeting gift. Qin Feng had seen the divine elixir when he was in the Northern Sand region. It was the trump card that the Immortal Grass sect had taken out during the elixir workshop meeting. This was a Tier 7 Imperial elixir. The reason why it was of such a high grade was because its medicinal properties were very strong. It could definitely allow a cultivator at the peak of the 9 changes of Buddha aura to step into the true spirit realm. This kind of pill was definitely a priceless treasure in the eyes of other late-stage Buddha light cultivators. Even if they used a token to enter the 13 palaces, they wouldn't hesitate. This was because even if ordinary Buddha light cultivators went to the 13 palaces, they would still die. They might not even find an opportunity to break through to the true spirit realm. However, Qin Feng wasn't ordinary. He had divine spirit pills on him. Even if he didn't have such pills, he could still refine other pills to help him break through to the true spirit realm. I'm sorry, I won't sell my token. Qin Feng didn't even look at the jade bottle. His attitude was still firm. Zhang Fei was stunned. He didn't expect Qin Feng to reject the divine spirit pills. A hint of coldness flashed in his eyes. However, he quickly recovered his smile and took out a long sword. Brother, don't be anxious. I'll give you a bottle of divine spirit pills and this low-grade true artifact sword. What do you think? A true artifact weapon was considered a treasure in the South Flat Continent. Moreover, a Buddha light cultivator like Qin Feng would go crazy if he saw it. However, Qin Feng still had a calm expression. He had a few true artifact longswords in his storage ring. Each of them was of a higher grade than the one Zhang Fei took out. Qin Feng was a bit annoyed by this entanglement, so he walked around Zhang Fei to the side. This action completely angered Zhang Fei. He was a cultivator in the 6th true spirit realm, but he was being ignored by the Buddha light cultivator. Brat, you saw my elixirs and my true artifact sword. You're not selling it just because you say so? What kind of person do you think I am? Zhang Fei shouted and quickly chased after Qin Feng. Many people gathered around and whispered to each other. In fact, what happened at Qin Feng's side was happening at the same time. To put it bluntly, cultivators who didn't have a token wanted to buy it. Thus, they resorted to forceful means. Generally, those who dared to offend others were those with a higher cultivation and a token. Therefore, when Zhang Fei caught up to Qin Feng, many people could already see Qin Feng's tragic end. What do you want? Qin Feng stopped in his tracks with a cold expression. Zhang Fei scolded, hand over the token obediently, and I'll give you the elixirs and sword. Is there something wrong with your ears? I said, I won't sell the token. If you continue to pester me, don't blame me for being impolite. There were many people watching the show, but no one stood out to uphold justice. Qin Feng didn't expect anyone to stand out to help him. After all, he had been in the Divine Continent for more than 2 years. He had long gotten used to the rule of using fists to represent the truth. Zhang Fei was startled. He clearly didn't expect a late-stage Buddha light realm cultivator to be so arrogant. He roared and swung the long sword in his hand. A gust of wind suddenly blew, and some cultivators who didn't care about the matter even whistled. Qin Feng was already prepared. When Zhang Fei swung his sword, Qin Feng had already taken out a long sword and thrust it forward, bringing with it a cold light. Buzz. There was also a strange energy fluctuation in the air. That was the divine sense attack from the Zhen Yi sword. When Zhang Fei saw that Qin Feng dared to block his sword move, a smile blossomed on his face. As a dignified middle-stage true spirit realm cultivator, he was confident that he could kill Qin Feng with this sword move. At that time, the token would fall into his hands. However, his smile suddenly froze. Zhang Fei's eyes were filled with fear. He felt a stabbing pain in his divine sense. That was definitely caused by a divine sense attack. However, Zhang Fei couldn't figure out who had launched a divine sense attack on him. It was obviously not the Buddha light cultivator in front of him because the Buddha light realm didn't even have a divine sense attack. Who framed me? Bang. Zhang Fei roared in all directions, but a loud sound answered him. When his divine sense was injured, Zhang Fei forgot to block Qin Fen's sword light. In fact, he didn't even put Qin Fen's attack in his eyes. It was just a Buddha light cultivator. Even if he was hit, he would at most suffer some superficial wounds. However, his thoughts were obviously very simple. When he saw his body riddled with holes, Zhang Fei even felt like he was dreaming. However, he didn't even have time to shout before he died. In the end, he turned into flesh and blood and scattered. The crowd was stunned. No one expected the ending to be like this. A late-stage Buddha light cultivator instantly killed a true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator. Could it be that this guy had hidden his strength? When they came back to their senses, many cultivators who were watching the show immediately left. Their strength was not as strong as Zhang Fei, so they naturally didn't dare to stay a moment longer. They didn't want to arouse Qin Fen's dissatisfaction and be instantly killed. Chapter 1864. From time to time, fights would break out in the periphery of the array formation. Some cultivators with higher cultivation bases would snatch the tokens of the weaker cultivators. However, no one came to trouble Qin Fen. Perhaps they were frightened by the power of a sword. Qin Fen finally calmed down for a while. He roughly looked around and found that there were at least 80,000 to 90,000 cultivators gathered in the wilderness. This densely packed crowd was like a tide, and their realms were all different. Qin Fen even felt a few extremely powerful auras, which were definitely above the Hollow God realm. Elder Mou, it's that brat. He took a spot from the White Deer sect and caused the old man from the White Deer sect to fall out with me. In the end, he wasn't even willing to give up a token. There were 5 people standing under a tree. The man who spoke was Shin Su Hen, who had gone to the White Deer sect to ask for a token. His eyes were cold as he stared at Qin Feng. The oldest of the 5 glanced at Qin Feng and said arrogantly, "He's just an ant at the 7 changes Buddha light. Once we enter the 13 palaces, we'll kill him. As for the disciples of the White Deer sect, we'll kill everyone we see. Elder Mou, that guy is just at the 7 changes Buddha light. Leave him to me." The youth standing next to godlike Mou suddenly spoke. Although he was the youngest of the 5, his demeanor and position made it seem as if he had the highest status. Shin Mou immediately smiled. "Okay, I'll leave that brat to young master. With young master's true spirit realm cultivation, it'll only take 10 moves to kill him." The young man was the only son of God One Finger's sect master, Shen Wuxing. As for Shen Mo and the others, they had just arrived and hadn't seen Qin Feng kill Zhang Fei, who was in the true spirit realm. Otherwise, Shen Wuxing wouldn't have dared to stand out and say that he would personally kill Qin Feng. More and more cultivators gathered in the wilderness. Suddenly, a group of cultivators wearing white robes with star patterns engraved on their chests arrived. When they appeared, the cultivators and the crowd immediately began discussing the newcomers. Some of the cultivators even made way for them, seemingly fearful of the newcomers. It's the disciples of the 6-star sect Shinkuan sect. The disciples of the Shinkuan sect are all fierce. They don't look like they're here to enter the 13 palaces. They look like they're here to fight. You still don't know? A few days ago, someone stole a treasure from the Shinkuan weapon shop in Panshan Market. Now, the Shinkuan sect has issued a citywide arrest warrant to capture that person. Holy shit! Which cultivator was so daring? How dare you steal the treasures of Shinkuan sect? It was hard for Qin Feng not to hear the discussions. Although he had changed his identity to Qiao Feng, he still felt a bit nervous. In the South Flat Continent, the sect leader of a 4-star sect was at Nihility God Realm. A 5-star sect even had a body condensation stage cultivator. How strong would a 6-star sect be? Qin Feng found it hard to imagine. He was worried that his identity would be exposed. If he was really discovered, then he would definitely die this time. At the same time, Qin Feng was filled with curiosity. He wondered just what secrets the 2 spirit turtle shells hid. For the spirit tortoiseshell to attract so much attention from the six-star sect, the Star Kuan sect, and the Elder Hong Fei of the five-star sect, the Ancient Cauldron sect, it was all for the sake of that spirit tortoiseshell. No matter how worried he was, there was no point. Qin Feng simply treated it calmly. He pulled a cultivator beside him and asked, "Daoist friend, I heard that the Xinkuan sect has been arresting people recently. Have they caught them yet?" Qin Feng regretted asking the question. He realized that the other party looked like he was in his 60s and was already a true spirit peak stage cultivator. On the Divine Supreme Continent, high-level cultivators looked down on low-level cultivators. If you asked a high-level cultivator a question, you would most likely be disdained and ignored. Unexpectedly, the old man didn't put on airs. He said calmly, "They haven't caught them yet. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here looking for them." As soon as the old man finished speaking, Qin Feng saw the cultivators in the Xinkuan sect's uniform looking at the portraits one by one. It was probably because they were disciples of a six-star sect that the cultivators who were being interrogated didn't dare to show their anger. Of course, Qin Feng wasn't just asking if they had found the person. This was just an entry point. He continued to ask, "I heard that person stole a treasure from the Xinkuan sect. What kind of treasure was it to make the Xinkuan sect issue a wanted order?" The old man talked with Qin Feng for a while and introduced himself. "My name is Hao Yuele, a loose cultivator. Young hero, you're so young, but you killed a true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator with one strike. You must have hidden your strength. As for the treasure you're talking about, I'm not too sure either. However, I've heard people say that it's the key to opening the Gate of Life." Qin Feng was stunned. "Gate of Life? What is that place?" "Oh, right, Senior Hao. Junior's name is Qiao Feng." Hao Yuele looked at Qin Feng in surprise. "Since you're here to explore the 13 palaces, you don't know about the Gate of Life?" Qin Feng realized that he had let the cat out of the bag again and quickly explained, "I've embarrassed myself in front of Senior. Junior has been in closed-door cultivation on Coiled Snake Mountain and usually doesn't ask about the outside world. It's only because the 13 palaces opened that Master told me to come down the mountain to gain experience." Hao Yuele suddenly understood. There were actually many cultivators like Qin Feng in the South Flat Continent. Usually they were genius cultivators in sections. They wouldn't be allowed to come out and quickly break through with the help of the sect's resources. Once they reached a certain level of strength, they would be allowed to come out to gain experience. Qin Feng looked to be in his early 30s, but he had the strength to kill a true Spirit Realm 6 cultivator. To Hao Yuele, Qin Feng was indeed a genius cultivator. So that's how it is. It's normal that young hero Qiao doesn't know about the Gate of Life. The Gate of Life is in the 13 palaces. It's a secret realm in the 13 palaces. It's said that each palace has a secret realm. As for which palace the Gate of Life is in, that's hard to say. Qin Feng realized that he only had a superficial understanding of the 13 palaces. He had no idea about the deeper secrets. The more he learned about the 13 palaces, the more interested he became in that place. After talking to Hao Yuele, Qin Feng realized that the 2 spirit tortoiseshells he obtained were the keys to open the Gate of Life. Although Hao Yuele couldn't explain what the Gate of Life was for, he could tell from his tone that it was a sacred place. During that time, the Xinkuan sect cultivators even checked Qin Feng's location. However, they couldn't find him. They only checked the portrait and avoided Qin Feng. After a while, a majestic aura gushed out with the aura of a magnificent army coming from all directions. The noisy crowd immediately quietened down and looked toward the sky in the north. Many cultivators' expressions changed drastically. Even the ultimate gods in the empty god realm were terrified. An illusory figure had unknowingly appeared in the sky. It was like a bright moon, giving people the feeling that it could be seen but couldn't be touched. Senior Guanjiao? It's really Senior Guanjiao. Every time the 13 palaces opens, it's Senior Guanjiao who activates the array formation. Looks like the 13 palaces are about to open. Rumor has it that Senior Guanjiao is the Grand Elder of the Wind God Valley, one of the few 7-star sects in the South Flat Continent. He has long entered the Ekayana tripod realm. As for how long he has lived, I'm afraid even he himself can't remember. Senior Ekayana Tripod Realm. I can't believe I'm able to see Senior Ekayana Tripod Realm in my lifetime. After a short silence, it was followed by a tidal wave of discussion. Qin Feng looked at the illusory figure in the sky, and his heart was in turmoil. In the North Sand Continent, the strongest people he knew were immortal supremacies, like Immortal Barefoot. However, those powerful supremacies were only in the empty god realm. As for whether there were any body condensation realm cultivators in the North Sand Continent, Qin Feng wasn't sure. However, in less than a month since he came to the South Flat Continent, he had already seen a few void god cultivators and a few body condensation realm seniors. Now, there was even a Ekayana tripod realm cultivator floating in the sky. It was like a dream. From his own knowledge and the discussions of the crowd, Qin Feng had a rough understanding of the sects in the South Flat Continent. Usually, the sect leader of a 4-star sect would be in the empty god realm. 5-star sects would have a body condensation realm sect leader. 6-star sects would probably have a Ekayana tripod realm expert. In a 7-star sect, a Grand Elder would be in the Ekayana tripod realm. Qin Feng guessed that the sect leader would most likely be in the disaster transformation realm. At this moment, Qin Feng also realized how funny his words to White Deer Sect's sect leader Bo Yi were. At that time, he was worried that there would be Ekayana tripod realm or even disaster transformation realm cultivators occupying the 13 palaces. Now, it seemed that even in the South Flat Continent, Ekayana tripod realm and disaster transformation realm cultivators were rare. They were the Grand Elders or even sect leaders of 6-star and 7-star sections. Guan Jiao floated silently in midair for a moment. It was as though he was in another world. His body gave off a mist-like aura. This aura was similar to that of a void god realm cultivator, but it was also completely different. As for what was different, Qin Feng couldn't understand it with his current cultivation. However, he had a feeling that the light figure in midair didn't exist. It was just an illusion. Dao friends, today is the opening of the 13 palaces once every 10 years. I won't go into the details of the rules. Cultivators under 100 years old and with a token, please enter the teleportation array. Guan Jiao suddenly spoke. No one could see his appearance clearly. Even his body was a hazy silhouette. His voice seemed to come from an extremely far place, but it was clearly transmitted into everyone's ears and reverberated endlessly. With that, Guan Jiao casually waved his hand. A curtain wall suddenly appeared in the space beneath his feet. When the curtain wall appeared, it brought along a powerful aura fluctuation. Qin Feng immediately felt that it was the energy of the array. At the same time, he was shocked. This teleportation array was definitely a tier 9, or even higher. The array has opened. Sect leader, quickly return. Junior brothers, and I will be careful. When the light screen appeared, the crowd was in an uproar. Many people bade farewell to the sect disciples, and some people jumped into the white light. This was Qin Feng's first time entering the 13 palaces. He was completely rash. He followed behind a group of cultivators and queued for more than 10 minutes before he finally arrived in front of the array. When he saw the cultivators in front of him jump into the white light, he also jumped. Chapter 1865.
Buzz.
The moment his body touched the white light, Qin Feng disappeared from the outskirts of Panshan Market. He immediately felt a powerful suction force sucking him into a pile of wontons, followed by a long teleportation process. Even with his Buddhist Light 7 transformations cultivation, he felt dizzy. Qin Feng realized that the teleportation formation was very far away. He didn't know where the 13 palaces were. He held on in the wontons for a while and finally heard a muffled sound. His feet found a sense of security. Is this the 13 palaces? It feels so big. Senior brother, let's go find the treasure. Disciples of Gourd Island, don't run around. The 13 palaces are dangerous. Follow me. As soon as Qin Feng came in, he heard a clamor. He looked ahead and saw a seemingly boundless plain. The plain was filled with mist, and visibility was less than 50 meters. When Qin Fin tried to use his divine sense to search deeper, he found that his divine sense couldn't penetrate further. After he entered the 13 palaces, many more cultivators were teleported in. They immediately formed groups and set off. The 13 palaces only opened for 3 months every 10 years. Time was of the essence. Qin Fin was ready to set off, but he had only taken 2 steps when 5 figures surrounded him.
Haha.
Brat, you really dared to come to the 13 palaces. Do you think you'll be fine after offending God's finger? Qin Fin looked at the man who spoke and immediately knew that it was the young elder of God's finger, Shen Xiuhan. It was the first time he met the other 4, but they were obviously from God's finger. Before he came, Bo Yi had advised Qin Fin not to enter the 13 palaces. It seemed that sect leader Bo Yi's guess was right. God's finger didn't attack White Deer sect on the surface, but planned to attack inside the 13 palaces. Qin Fin quickly scanned the other 4 and couldn't help but feel nervous. The weakest of the 4 was at True Spirit Realm 1, 2 were at the peak of True Spirit Realm, and 1 was at Nihility God Realm. Even if there was still Thunder Disaster energy in the energy tank, Qin Fin couldn't deal with so many experts at once. Just as he was about to use the Level 7 Earth Escape Talisman to escape, he heard the True Spirit Realm 1 cultivator say, "Brat, you dare to spoil God's finger's plan? I'll kill you today." Qin Fin grabbed the Level 7 Earth Escape Talisman in his hand, ready to run at any time. He looked at Shen Wuxing and said, "You're no match for me." Shen Wuxing was enraged. "You're just a Buddha light late-stage cultivator, and you dare to act wildly against me? I think you're tired of living. If it weren't for the fact that you have a few senior brothers protecting you, I would have killed you with a single slash," Qin Feng said indifferently. Shen Wuxing was so angry that he gritted his teeth and shouted at the crowd, "You guys don't do anything. Let me kill this arrogant brat myself. Young master, I feel that there's something strange about that guy. Why don't I just kill him with a slap?" Seeing that only godly master Void God had spoken, Qin Fin immediately tightened his grip on the Level 7 Escape Talisman. Shen Wuxing glared at Shen Mou and said, "I said I'll do it myself. If any of you dare to attack, I won't forgive you." Although Shen Wuxing had the lowest realm in the crowd, he was the only son of the God One Finger sect leader. His position in the God One Finger sect was only below the sect leader. Shen Mou and the other 3 retreated to the side. In fact, they weren't too worried. To them, Qin Fin was just a Buddha light late-stage cultivator. Even if he had a trump card, he definitely wouldn't be able to kill Shen Wuxing instantly. Even if something strange happened, Shen Mou was confident that he could stop it in time. Seeing the 4 of them retreat 100 meters away, Qin Fin's eyes flashed with coldness. Shen Wuxing had a playful smile on his face. He didn't even hold a weapon in his hand. He casually walked over to Qin Fin and said, "Brat, if you have any last words, say them now. Otherwise, you won't have a chance." Qin Fin coldly laughed and said, "That's what I wanted to say to you. If you have any last words, say them now. But I won't help you pass on the God finger." What an arrogant brat. "Today, I'm going to tear you into pieces." God of the 5 elements ran out of patience and suddenly threw a punch. Suddenly, a wave of fist energy surged and arrived in front of Qin Fin. However, Qin Fin did not back down. Nobody knew when, but a long sword had appeared in his hand, and he had completed the slashing motion.
Boom.
When the sword fell, he would die. With Qin Fin's current strength, even if he faced a middle-stage true spirit cultivator, he could kill him with 1 strike. Not to mention Shen Wuxing, who had just entered True Spirit Realm 1. Buzz. Just as Shen Wuxing exploded into pieces, a strange energy wave spread from Qin Fin's body. He instantly turned into a beam of white light and disappeared from the ground. Wuxing. Oh no. Young Master's been killed. Damn that guy. He dared to hide his strength and kill Young Master. Quick, capture him. The crowd suddenly exploded. Shen Mou was the first to chase in the direction that Qin Fin had disappeared. But halfway there he retreated. His old face was twisted and cold. How dare he? That bastard tricked us all. He had planned to escape long ago, but young master insisted on fighting him one-on-one. So he killed young master and used the level 7 Earth escape talisman to leave. He's now 10,000 miles away, Shin Mou angrily roared. When they found out the truth, Shin Su Hen and the other 3 little elders were dumbfounded. They had 3 peak true spirit realm cultivators and a void god realm hierarch on their side. The other side was just a Buddha's light cultivator. Not only was he not scared, he even schemed in secret. This kind of shrewdness and courage was too terrifying. Great Elder Mou, young master has been killed and the murderer has escaped. What do we do? Shin Su Hen and the other 2 became nervous. They didn't even have the mood to explore the 13 palaces anymore. Now that the sect leader's only son was dead, if the sect leader found out, who knew how angry he would be? What else can we do? Quickly find that brat Xiao Feng and bring him back to the sect leader to deal with. Shen Mou angrily roared and flew in the direction that Qin Fin disappeared. We didn't do anything else in the 13 palaces this time. Just find that brat. Qin Fin felt a sharp pain in his head. When he opened his eyes again, he was already thousands of miles away. The scenery around him had completely changed. When he had just teleported to the 13th palace, there was a misty plain in front of him. But now, he was surrounded by a boundless desert. The mist had disappeared, but at a glance, he couldn't even see a person or grass. The spirit chi around him was also very thin. This made Qin Fin wonder if he had been teleported out of the 13 palaces by the Earth Escape Talisman. He had heard that the spirit chi in the 13 palaces was rich and abundant with spirit herbs, but this place didn't seem like it at all. After walking for a while, Qin Fin still didn't see a single cultivator. He started to wonder if he had been teleported out of the 13 palaces by the level 7 Earth Escape Talisman. There were at least 80,000 to 90,000 cultivators when they entered. No matter how big the 13 palaces were, it was impossible to not see a single person. Yuanqiu, this is the outer area of the 13 palaces. No cultivators will come here. You better hand over the 100 Immortals flower, and I can spare your life. While Qin Fin was feeling depressed, a voice came from afar. While the voice was still lingering in the air, a man and a woman flew over and landed in the desert not far away from Qin Fin. Huh? There are people in this area? The man saw Qin Fin, and his eyes revealed a look of disbelief. The woman also looked over, but after seeing through Qin Fin's realm, she frowned again. Stinking brat, this has nothing to do with you. Get lost. The man shouted at Qin Fin. The female cultivator wore a white veil, but it couldn't hide her beautiful face. She must have fought a fierce battle with the male cultivator. The woman's purple robe was in tatters, and some of her fair skin was exposed to the air.
There were even some bloodstains on it.
Fellow cultivator, you should leave, the woman said, but her tone was completely different from the male cultivators. Qin Fin could tell what the woman was thinking. She saw that his realm was too low, so she didn't want him to get involved. In fact, Qin Fin didn't want to get involved in their business, but the male cultivator's attitude made him very unhappy. Moreover, Qin Fin admired the female cultivator's actions. So, he just stood there and didn't move, confusing the other party. Are you, an ant at the Buddha's light stage, tired of living? Did you hear me telling you to scram? The male cultivator was instantly enraged. A wild aura erupted from his body, showing off his peak true spirit realm cultivation. Actually, he didn't need to show it. Qin Fin had already seen through his strength. Qin Fin could also see that the female cultivator was in the 7th true spirit realm and wasn't a match for the male cultivator at all. It was also because the tribulation lightning energy in the energy tank had been used up, otherwise Qin Fin would have shot the male cultivator to see if he still dared to act this arrogant. But reality was very cruel. Qin Fin could only rely on his own cultivation to fight. Even if he had several heaven-defying treasures, it wasn't easy to kill a peak true spirit realm cultivator. This is your family's territory? Qin Fin suddenly said. The male cultivator was stunned and subconsciously said, Are you sick? This is the outer area of the 13 palaces. How could it be my family's? I think the one who's sick is you. Since this isn't your family's, why can't I stand here? What right do you have to chase me away? Qin Fun's words stunned the two of them, and they looked at him with a strange expression. This was the divine continent, a place where the strong were respected. The words of cultivators with high realms represented everything. The male cultivator's realm was clearly higher than Qin Fun's, so him telling Qin Fun to leave was the truth. Who would have thought that Qin Fun wouldn't leave, and would even talk about principles here? If the South Flat State cultivators heard this, they would definitely laugh their heads off. Haha, idiot, I really met an idiot. The man couldn't stop laughing, but halfway through, his expression suddenly turned cold. You're asking me why I'm chasing you away? That's what I'm relying on.
Boom.
With that, the male cultivator leapt into the air and casually slapped out. He was too lazy to even take out his weapon, thinking that with his strength, he could kill Qin Fun with one palm. There was a loud sound, and the ground where Qin Fun was standing before sank into a hole, but there was no sign of Qin Fun in the hole. Chapter 1866. Brat, you actually hid your strength. But with that little cultivation of yours, you will die sooner or later. The male cultivator roared angrily and suddenly attacked behind him. A golden ray flew under the huge palm print and flew hundreds of meters away in the blink of an eye. Sister, let's kill him together. Qin Fun's voice floated over from the sky. The male cultivator was furious. A Buddha light realm ant wanted to kill him? Yuanqiu was shocked by Qin Fun's boldness. She thought Qin Fun would run away in fear after seeing Jishi's cultivation. Unexpectedly, not only did he not run, but he also wanted to kill Jishi. At the same time, Qin Fun's way of addressing Yuanqiu was strange. On the divine continent, people usually called each other fellow cultivator or senior. It was the first time Yuanqiu called her sister. But she quickly came back to her senses and immediately swung her sword at Jishi. At the same time, she shouted, "Young hero, the opponent is the 5-star sect Yuan Song sect's little elder Jishi. His cultivation is at the peak of the spirit-connecting realm. You should leave quickly. I have a way to escape." Yuanqiu clearly did not think Qin Fun would win. She even felt that Qin Fun was a burden. But it was impossible for Qin Fun to leave now. He had successfully angered Jishi, so how could Jishi spare him? Humph. You adulterous couple, don't even think about leaving today. Jishi swung his palm again and easily blocked Yuanqiu's sword ray. At the same time, he flew towards Qin Fun. In his opinion, Qin Fun was easier to deal with. The South Flat Continent's peak true spirit realm cultivator was more powerful than Qin Fun imagined. In just a few breaths' time, Jishi was already behind him. This time, he took out a long saber and slashed down from the sky. The sky seemed like it was going to be split by him. There was a loud explosion. Ripples appeared in Yuanqiu's eyes. She frowned and looked into the distance. She believed that Qin Fun had no chance of survival under Jishi's ferocious saber. Thinking about an unfamiliar cultivator dying to help her, Yuanqiu felt somewhat upset. Sister, don't just stand there. Although I have a way to kill him alone, it will be very troublesome. A familiar voice rang out. Yuanqiu's expression changed drastically. She could vaguely see a golden light leaping through the sky. Its speed was not any slower than her flying sword. Realizing that Qin Fun was not dead, Yuanqiu immediately swung her sword and rushed over. With a flick of her wrist, countless sword flowers shot out like a rain of swords rushing into the sky. You little ant, I'm going to tear you to pieces today. After a few waves of attacks, they couldn't even touch Qin Fun's skin. Jishi's furious roar shook the heavens. He felt that he had lost all face. Jishi didn't care about the sword light coming from behind him. He suddenly sped up and slapped Qin Fun's back. When she looked down at her chest, she was so scared that she almost cried out. Her clothes had been cut into 2 pieces, and they couldn't cover the peaks in front of her chest at all. Qin Fun suddenly came back to his senses because he felt a powerful aura rapidly approaching. He didn't have much time to think. He grabbed Yuanqiu and rushed into the sky on his flying sword. Rumble. As soon as the two of them left, a chaotic sound came from the huge pit. Qin Fin immediately threw out 4 banners. The banners were originally only the size of a palm, but they instantly grew in size in the air, forming 4 walls that connected to the sky. What the hell is this? Ji Shi's roar came from the ghost face, soul banner. Qin Fin immediately heaved a sigh of relief. He knew that the other party had been trapped. The ghost face soul banner was one of the ghost cultivator's 8 sacred items. It could even trap a void spirit realm cultivator for a long time. Young hero brother, what treasure is that? Yuanqiu's eyes lit up when she saw the soul banner. Although she didn't recognize what the soul banner was, she could tell that it was a rare treasure. Qin Fin didn't hide it and quickly said, "Sister, that is one of the ghost cultivator's 8 sacred items, the ghost face soul banner. It can form a formation and trap a void spirit realm cultivator. Let's attack together and kill that bastard." When Qin Fin finished speaking, he swung his saber at the soul banner. The surging golden saber gleam fell to the ground, and the violent movement was like an earthquake. Yuanqiu looked at Qin Fin in surprise. She didn't expect a Buddha's light realm cultivator to have such terrifying destructive power. It was not much weaker than hers.
Swish.
Yuanqiu didn't think too much about it and quickly returned to her senses. Instantly, the saber gleam and sword shadows surged. Yuanqiu was trapped in the formation and had nowhere to hide. She even had to endure the soul banner's divine sense attack. If there was still tribulation thunder energy, Qin Fin believed that he could kill Ji Shi with 1 spear strike. Now, he could kill Ji Shi with his cultivation alone, but it took Qin Fin and Yuanqiu an hour. After confirming that Ji Shi's spirit pearl had been destroyed, the two of them fell to the ground. This battle had consumed a large amount of their primordial essence, and their bodies were extremely weak. After resting for a while, Qin Feng's gaze inadvertently fell on Yuanqiu's chest. After the battle, Yuanqiu's purple robe had completely fallen off. At this moment, she was completely naked as she sat to the side. She was still panting heavily, and her chest, which was already astonishing, rose and fell with beads of sweat on it. Qin Feng immediately reacted when he saw this. "Young hero brother, thank you for saving my life this time."
Ah.
What are you looking at? Yuanqiu finally realized her embarrassing state. She immediately took out a new set of clothes from her storage ring and put them on in a panic. The beautiful scenery disappeared, and Qin Feng quickly returned to his senses. He recalled what had just happened and felt embarrassed. "Big sister, my name is Qiao Feng." Qin Fin took the initiative to break the silence. The blush on Yuanqiu's pretty face had yet to fade. She wasn't angry at Qin Fin, but she had neglected the matter of her clothes falling off. Moreover, she knew that with her appearance and figure, no man could resist the temptation. Qin Fin was considered lucky. He had only taken a few peeks. Yuanqiu would have thought it was normal even if he had directly pounced on her. "Little brother Qiao Feng, my name is Yuanqiu, and I am a disciple of the 5-star Sky Lake sect. After I entered the 13th palace, I found 100 Immortals flower, but I didn't expect to run into Ji Shi when I was picking it. That beast wanted to snatch the 100 Immortals flower, but I wasn't willing to hand it over, so the scene just now happened," Yuanqiu said. Qin Fin muttered her name and felt that it was very poetic. The next moment, his expression changed drastically as he realized the important information in Yuanqiu's words. 100 Immortals flower? Is it the level 7 spirit herb, the 100 Immortals flower? I didn't expect little brother Qiao Feng to have heard of the 100 Immortals flower. I have a feeling that you are not an ordinary Buddha light realm cultivator. Yuanqiu looked at Qin Fan in confusion. How could a Buddha light realm cultivator know about the level 7 spirit herb, the 100 Immortals flower? I won't hide it from big sister Yuanqiu. I am actually an alchemist, so I have some research on spirit herbs. The 100 Immortals flower is a level 7 spirit herb, and it is mainly used to refine the spirit cleansing pill. The spirit cleansing pill can remove poison, especially pill toxins. Qin had read about the 100 Immortals flower and the spirit cleansing pill from the Encyclopedia of Medicinal Pills. Before this, he had never seen the real 100 Immortals flower, nor had he refined the spirit cleansing pill. Qin knew of two types of pills that could remove pill toxins. One was the rejuvenating pill that Long Qianjun had given him. However, the rejuvenating pill was only a type of gold pill. Even if it could remove pill toxins, it could only remove a small portion of the pill toxins. He also had a level 7 spirit herb, the fire spirit lotus. This type of spirit herb could be refined into a spirit lotus pill. The spirit lotus pill also had the effect of removing pill toxins, and its effects were better than the rejuvenating pill. However, Qin didn't plan on using the fire spirit lotus to refine the spirit lotus pill. This was because the level 7 spirit herb had an even more unique effect, and that was to nurture a heavenly flame. However, Qin was a maniac when it came to eating pills. He believed that the pill toxins in his body were several times more than those of cultivators at the same level as him. The medicinal effects of the rejuvenating pill alone wouldn't be enough to remove the pill toxins in his body. If he refined the 100 Immortals flower into the spirit cleansing pill and ate it, it would be pretty good. Chapter 1867. Yuanqiu looked at Qin in disbelief. She didn't expect Qin to not only know about the 100 Immortals flower, but he also knew the uses of a level 7 spirit herb. Then, Qin said something that surprised her even more. "Oh, right, Sister Yuanqiu. I happen to have other ingredients for the purifying pill. I'm just missing 100 Immortals flower. If you trust me, give me the 100 Immortals flower, and I'll refine a furnace of pills for you."
How about that?
It was Qin first time meeting Yuanqiu, so he wouldn't be so kind as to help her refine pills for free. He just wanted to try refining a furnace of purifying pills. This was his first time refining purifying pills, and if he wanted to become a higher-level alchemist, he had to constantly refine new pills to comprehend and break through. Yuanqiu suddenly hesitated, and her guard was raised. Although she didn't think Qin was a bad person, it was their first time meeting, and it was hard to tell what was in a person's heart. However, Yuanqiu quickly laughed at herself. If it weren't for Qin's appearance, she would have been dead by now or would have suffered the cruel treatment of Ji Shi. As for the level 700 Immortals flower, it definitely wouldn't have fallen into her hands. "Brother Qiao, I'll give you the 100 Immortals flower to repay you for saving my life." Yuanqiu smiled. Her smile was even more beautiful than the 100 Immortals flower. It was Qin's first time seeing a 100 Immortals flower. It looked similar to a lily, and when he took it out, a dense spiritual energy floated around him. Qin immediately took out the cauldron of heaven and earth, as well as a dozen different spirit herbs.
Ah,
"Brother Qiao, are you really going to refine pills?" Yuanqiu was stunned when she saw the cauldron. "Of course I'm going to refine pills. I just promised, Sister Yuanqiu." Qin looked at her in surprise. Yuanqiu blushed. She had always thought that Qin only fancied the 100 Immortals flower and even wanted to use some trick to trick it away. His offer to refine purifying pills was just an excuse. It wasn't until now that Yuanqiu realized that she was being too petty. He really wanted to help her refine the pill, but Yuanqiu couldn't accept it. This was because the spirit cleansing pill was a rank 1, rank 7 king pill. She didn't believe that Qin was an elixir king at such a young age. "Brother Qiao, the spirit cleansing pill is a 7th grade king pill," Yuanqiu reminded him. She saw that Qin had already raised a flame under the cauldron. As he threw spirit herbs into the cauldron, he said casually, "I know, Sister Yuanqiu. I can still refine rank 1 level 7 king pills." Seeing that Qin was determined to refine pills, Yuanqiu did not continue to persuade him. However, she still had no confidence in Qin. Qin was simply too young, and the South Flat Continent did not seem to have any elixir kings under the age of 30. "Forget it. I was planning to give the 100 Immortals flower to him, anyway. It's the will of the heavens if it's ruined." Yuanqiu sighed and sat to the side to recuperate. She planned to continue on her journey after her injuries were healed. After an unknown amount of time, Yuanxiu heard a muffled sound, startling her awake from her cultivation. An incomparably rich pill fragrance wafted into his nostrils, and the spiritual energy around him seemed to have increased by several levels, to the point where it felt like it was about to condense into a substance. "Brother Qiaofeng, what's going on?" Yuanxiu was shocked. However, without Qin Fen's explanation, she had already seen the 12 pills flying out of the cauldron of heaven and earth. She immediately understood the situation. "Why you refine the spirit-cleansing pills? How is this possible?" Yuanxiu was even more shocked after learning about the situation. Qin Fen placed the 12 pills into a jade bottle and handed it to Yuanxiu. "Sister Yuanxiu, I said I would help you refine the spirit-cleansing pills, so I definitely won't go back on my word." Yuanxiu took the jade bottle in a daze. She could still feel the lingering warmth of the pills inside. She poured out a pill and looked at it, confirming that it was really a bottle of spirit-cleansing pills. "I really didn't expect Brother Qiaofeng to be an elixir king. You might be the youngest elixir king in the South Flat Continent. I can't accept this bottle of spirit-cleansing pills. You should keep it for yourself." Yuanxiu returned the pills. She had originally planned to give the 100 Immortals flower to Qin Fen. The other ingredients for the spirit-cleansing pills were all prepared by Qin Fen, and the pills were also refined by him. How could she accept this bottle of spirit-cleansing pills? Qin Fen smiled and took out another jade bottle. He placed the 6 spirit-cleansing pills into a new jade bottle and handed it to Yuanxiu. "Sister Yuanxiu, you provided the main ingredient for the spirit-cleansing pills, the 100 Immortals flower. I'll be in charge of refining the pills, and we'll each take half a bottle of spirit-cleansing pills. That should be fine, right?" Yuanxiu's heart wavered. The effects of the spirit-cleansing pills were too rare. There weren't many pills in the entire South Flat Continent that could remove pill toxins from a cultivator's body, and the few pills that existed were extremely expensive. She gritted her teeth and took the jade bottle. She looked at Qin Fen with her beautiful eyes and said, "Brother Qiaofeng, I won't stand on ceremony then. I think you came to the 13 palaces to explore alone. Why don't you come with me to find the senior brothers and sisters of the Sky Lake sect and join our team?" Qin Fen knew very little about the 13 palaces. He didn't even know how to find the array formation for the higher-level palaces. Yuanxiu took the initiative to invite him, so he felt that it couldn't be any better. However, before he could agree, a strong feeling appeared in his mind. "Little pig, did the spirit-seeking bug find another treasure?" This was the second time this feeling appeared. The last time it appeared was when the spirit-seeking bug found the tortoise tablet in the Starry Weapon Workshop. "That's right, Master. According to the strength of the feeling, the treasure is within a 50-kilometer radius," Little Pig said. Qin Fen immediately became spirited. At the same time, he changed his plan. He planned to reject Yuanxiu's invitation and search for the treasure alone. "Brother Qiaofeng, what's wrong?" Yuanxiu frowned when he didn't reply for a long time. Even her frowning expression was extremely alluring. Qin Fen hurriedly said, "Sister Yuanxiu, I plan to go deeper. Why don't you go and find a fellow cultivator from the sect first?" Yuanxiu looked at him in disbelief and said, "Huh? You still want to go deeper? Why are you going there?" Qin Fen realized something from her expression and asked, "Sister Yuanxiu, this is my first time entering the 13 palaces, so I don't know much about the situation inside. What kind of place is the depths of the desert? Can I go there?" Yuanxiu suddenly understood. It turned out that Qin Fen didn't know much about the 13 palaces. No wonder he wanted to go deeper. She immediately explained, "The 0th floor of the 13 palaces is very vast, but there are almost no high-grade treasures or materials on the 0th floor. Especially the closer you go to the edge of the 0th floor, the worse the environment becomes. It's hard to even find a spirit herb, let alone a treasure." "What does 0th floor mean?" Qin Fen didn't understand. When everyone was transported to the 13 palaces, they were on the 0th floor. Only by finding the entrance to the first palace and entering it can you be considered to have truly entered the 13 palaces. Qin suddenly understood. After all this time, he still hadn't truly entered the 13 palaces. However, he quickly thought of something. That's not right, Sister Wanqiao. Since there are no good things on the 0 floor, why would there be a level 7 spirit herb like the 100 Immortals flower? This question stumped Wanqiao. In fact, when she found the 100 Immortals flower on the 0 floor, she was also shocked for a while. She even suspected that a high-grade cultivator had left it on the side of the road, or that a high-grade cultivator had died in a fight between sects, and their treasures had been left on the 0 floor. However, neither of these explanations made sense. Level 7 spirit herbs were very precious, and a high-grade cultivator wouldn't leave it on the side of the road. Even if a high-grade cultivator was killed, their storage ring would be taken away. How could they ignore the existence of a 100 Immortals flower? In short, according to the experiences of many powerful seniors, the 0 floor of the 13 palaces is just a platform. There are almost no treasures here. I advise my brother not to waste his time here, Wanqiao said. If the spirit-seeking bug hadn't sensed it, Qin would have definitely left with Wanqiao. However, the spirit-seeking bug had found the mysterious turtle tablet last time, and he had learned from Hao Yue that the turtle tablet was the key to opening the door of life. Now that it sensed it again, he couldn't miss this opportunity. Big Sister Wanqiao, I still want to go inside and take a look. Don't worry about me. We will meet again. Qin didn't wait for Wanqiao to persuade him again, and left on his flying sword. He was afraid that Wanqiao would follow him. It wasn't that he was afraid that Wanqiao would snatch the treasure after he found it. Qin was worried that this spirit-seeking bug would make a mistake and delay Wanqiao's time to enter the 13 palaces. The 13 palaces only opened once every 10 years, and each time it opened for 3 months. These 3 months were extremely important to every cultivator, and they couldn't afford to waste even a second. As Qin flew, the scenery around him didn't change. However, a large mountain vaguely appeared in the distance. Qin tried to get closer to the mountain, but he discovered that the mountain didn't look far, but he couldn't reach it even after flying for a long time. Master, the treasure sensed by the spirit-seeking bug is that mountain, Little Pig suddenly said. Qin spared no effort to fly towards the mountain. He simply put away his flying sword and drove the soaring cloud all. His speed instantly doubled. The mountain was surrounded by mist, and it looked like a celestial mountain. However, after Qin drove the soaring cloud all for a day and a night, he suddenly discovered a problem. Huh? How far is this mountain? Didn't the spirit-seeking bug say that its sensing range is within 100 miles? The soaring cloud all must have flown at least 10,000 miles in a day and a night, Qin asked. Little Pig frowned and suddenly shouted, I know, Master. You've been confused by the array. In fact, you've been going in circles. Qin was shocked. He was now a level 4 array grandmaster, but after flying for a day and a night, he still didn't find any array. Moreover, this area was a boundless desert, unlike the misty plain where they first entered. Qin couldn't imagine how a psychedelic array could be set up in such a place. But soon, Qin found some clues. He smelled a faint but very familiar aura in the air. It was undoubtedly the energy of an array. It seemed that there really was an array in this vast and boundless desert. Even though he knew there was an array, Qin couldn't tell what kind of array it was. He couldn't even figure out where the core of the array was. How big was this array? How did it support its operation? Countless questions surged in his mind. Qin couldn't help but sigh at the brilliance of the Almighty who set up this array. Compared to him, Qin's current level of array skills was not even worth mentioning. Chapter 1868. After flying for another half a day, he still couldn't reach the seemingly nearby mountain peak. Qin was sure that he was trapped in a psychedelic array, but he couldn't find a way to break it. Master, why don't you look in the formation compendium? Little Pig suggested. In his anxiety, Qin had forgotten about the Encyclopedia of Array Formations. When he had first purchased this manual, he had roughly scanned through it. This manual recorded in detail the layout and deciphering of many array formations. It even recorded level 7 king arrays, level 8 immortal arrays, and even pinnacle level 9 arrays. After flipping through the formation compendium, Qinfen checked the high-grade arrays recorded in the last few pages. He knew that the psychedelic array in front of him was at least a level 5 spiritual array. Otherwise, he would have been able to find the array I. There were too many high-grade arrays recorded in the secret manual. Qinfen didn't dare to miss any of them. He flipped through them one by one. After another half a day, his eyes lit up. He finally found a similar array. Space disorientating array, a type of level 8 immortal array. The array I is set in the air. The array is maintained by absorbing spiritual energy from the spirit gathering array. The array I changes according to the density of spiritual energy. After studying the space disorientating array carefully, Qinfen vaguely felt that the psychedelic array in front of him was the space disorientating array. No wonder he couldn't find the array I. The array I was set in the air and could change at any time. Qinfen had actually seen arrays with changing array I's before. The teleportation array that appeared in the martial world outside of China changed at any time. There was also the White Spirit Mountain array that Qinfen found in the North Sand continent changed at any time. These arrays were all high-grade arrays. They were at least level 8 immortal arrays. Qinfen even suspected that the teleportation array that led to the Divine Continent was at least a peak level 9 array. He couldn't imagine who set up these arrays. If the person who set up these arrays was still alive, he could probably kill a true form or even a true God realm expert with just this array formation technique alone. Qinfen put aside these messy thoughts. Now was clearly not the time to think about these problems. He immediately checked the method to break the space disorientating array. The secret manual recorded more than 10 methods to break the array. However, with his current cultivation and array skills, he could only try the third method. The reason why the disorienting space array existed was mainly because it absorbed the spirit chi from the spirit gathering array. As long as the spirit gathering array was destroyed, the disorienting space array would naturally be destroyed. However, Qinfen was stumped once again. He didn't discover the existence of a spirit gathering formation nearby. Or, it could be said that this hidden spirit gathering formation was of an extremely high level. With Qinfen's current formation skills, it would be difficult to find it. For a moment, Qinfen had a strong urge to improve his formation skills. However, he knew that improving the level of formation skills was even more difficult than cultivating. He had to constantly set up and break formations, and he also had to have a strong perception. Otherwise, he might be stuck at the level of a rank 4 formation master forever. At times like this, he needed to think calmly. Qinfen simply sat cross-legged and tried his best to calm his emotions. His mind was full of thoughts as he tried to think of a way to break the disorienting space formation. Since he couldn't use the dozen or so methods recorded in the compendium of formations, he would have to find a new method. After thinking for a long time, Qinfen suddenly opened his eyes. Such a simple method. Why did you only think of it now? His face revealed a joyful expression. He suddenly clapped his hands and carved a seal on the spirit stones. This was the appearance of setting up a formation. Soon, a rank 4 spirit gathering formation was completed. However, his hands didn't stop at all and started to set up a second spirit gathering formation. The method that Qinfen thought of to break the formation was very simple. It was to use the spirit gathering formation that he set up to absorb the spirit energy. This way, the disorienting space formation wouldn't have enough spirit energy to circulate, and it would eventually break by itself. However, Qinfen knew that the hidden spirit gathering formation in the disorienting space formation was of a very high level. Therefore, he had to use quantity to suppress the high-grade spirit gathering formation. That was why he was continuously setting up rank 4 spirit gathering formations. After a day, Qinfen had set up more than 50 spirit gathering formations. After these formations were set up, Qinfen's ability to set up rank 4 spirit gathering formations had reached the point of perfection. Whether it was the speed of setting up the formation or the effect of the formation, they were all greatly improved compared to before. Through the process of continuously setting up the formation, he had some new understanding of the formation in his mind. He didn't realize that in the process of setting up the formation, the Heart Sutra of the Creation chapter was circulating on its own and emitting surging vital energy from his body. So a rank 4 spirit gathering formation can be set up like this. But this formation doesn't seem like a rank 4 great formation? Countless thoughts suddenly appeared in Qin Feng's mind, and they were all about formations. He was immersed in these new concepts of setting up formations, and he even forgot that he was still breaking the disorienting space formation. He began to break the conventional method of setting up formations, and he used a new method to create a spirit gathering formation. At first, his technique was a bit rusty, and he even failed halfway through the process. However, after summarizing and practicing, he set up a brand new spirit gathering formation.
No.
This isn't a rank 4 spirit gathering formation. When the brand new formation was placed in front of him, Qin Feng's expression changed greatly. At this time, Little Pig's pleasantly surprised voice sounded, "Congratulations, Master. You've become a rank 5 spirit formation master. This is a rank 5 spirit gathering formation." Realization dawned on Qin Feng. When he looked at the newly set up formation in front of him again, he was sure that it was indeed a rank 5 spirit gathering formation. There was a huge difference between a rank 4 spirit gathering formation and a rank 5 spirit gathering formation. At the rank 5 spirit gathering formation, the formation core would automatically produce spirit chi. Although this spirit chi wasn't enough to maintain the formation's operation, it could protect the formation for a long time. This was also the reason why rank 7 king formations and rank 8 immortal formations could last for hundreds of years. The formation cores of those great formations also contained spirit chi, and they were even more powerful than rank 5 spirit gathering formations. After confirming that he had really set up a rank 5 spirit gathering formation, Qin Feng was overjoyed. 2 days ago, he was still hoping to have a breakthrough in his knowledge of formations, but he didn't expect this breakthrough to come so suddenly. Qin Feng quickly calmed himself down. He realized that even if he had set up a rank 5 spirit gathering formation, it would be difficult to suppress the spirit gathering formation within the disorienting space formation. This was because after becoming a rank 5 spirit formation master, Qin Feng still couldn't find the hidden formation core of the spirit gathering formation. It seemed that the formation had surpassed the level of a rank 5 spirit gathering formation. If the level wasn't enough, the quantity would make up for it. Qin Feng began to continuously set up a rank 5 spirit gathering formation. At the same time as he set up the rank 5 spirit gathering formation, he gained many new insights into formations. Just as he was immersed in understanding formations, Little Pig's surprised cry woke him up. "Master, the disorienting space formation is broken." Qin Feng immediately looked in front of him. The scene in front of him had changed greatly. His surroundings were no longer the Gobi Desert. The environment was even worse than the Gobi Desert. He was now in an environment that was half Gobi and half desert. There was a mountain peak several dozen miles away. It was the same mountain peak that Qin Feng had seen before. However, the mountain peak was much clearer than before. He could feel that it was really right in front of him. It wasn't as hazy as before. Qin Feng immediately stored the spirit gathering formation into his star ring and flew towards the mountain peak on his flying sword. In just over half an hour, he was already standing at the foot of the mountain peak. It seemed that the disorienting space formation was really broken. Rumble. The sound of thunder filled the sky. When Qin Feng arrived at the foot of the mountain, he was immediately stunned by the scene in front of him. This was an incomparably pitch-black mountain. The sky above the mountain peak was covered with dark clouds, and a sea of lightning crisscrossed. It was like a scene from the end of the world. Looking at the surrounding environment, it had completely turned into a desert. The area closer to the foot of the mountain, it was even worse than a desert. It was a field of dust and dirt. It reminded Qin Feng of the primordial battlefield after he went to the secret realm of White Spirit Mountain. He fell from the volcano where he found the purple ghost flame and fell all the way to the primordial battlefield. Qin Feng even suspected that this place was also an primordial battlefield. However, he quickly dispelled this thought. Back when he was in the secret realm of White Spirit Mountain, there were many weathered corpses and treasures. However, there was nothing in the dust at the foot of the mountain. Qin Feng suddenly felt a little disappointed. He began to suspect that the spirit-seeking bug senses were wrong this time. How could there be treasures in this place that was even more desolate than a desert? He raised his head and looked at the sea of lightning above the mountain. Although he was looking at it from a few hundred meters away, he was still suffocated by the residual power of the thunder. He even suspected that this sea of lightning was even more ferocious than the lightning tribulation he triggered when he broke through the Buddha aura. Going up there would only result in death. However, at this moment, the signal from the spirit-seeking bug became stronger. The little bug was squeaking excitedly. Qin Feng didn't need to say anything. Little Pig translated. Master. The spirit-seeking bug said that there is treasure on the mountain. Qin Feng immediately rolled his eyes. He was afraid that the bug would say something like this at this time. Little Pig, in the past, are there any records of the spirit-seeking bug killing its master? There are no such records. However, there are records that say that the spirit-seeking bug is the #1 treasure-seeking bug on the Divine Continent. Its treasure-finding rate is as high as 99%. It almost never makes a mistake, Little Pig said seriously. Although he was depressed, Qin Feng knew that he had to go up to the Black Lightning Mountain. Moreover, he had many doubts about the Black Lightning Mountain. Where did this sea of lightning come from? Moreover, there was only thunder and lightning above the Black Mountain. Once it left the Black Mountain, it would be normal weather. This was enough to prove that this Black Mountain was not ordinary. Qin Feng decided to go up the mountain, but he would not act recklessly. He took out a pink flying sword, which he had obtained from the storage ring of Zhang Fei, a disciple of the Sea League, before entering the 13 palaces. With a thought, the flying sword drew a pink light and rushed into the sky. In just a few breaths, it had disappeared into the sea of lightning above the Black Mountain. The moment the flying sword entered the Black Mountain, Qin Feng suddenly lost contact with the flying sword. He couldn't withdraw the flying sword even if he wanted to. It was blown up just like that? Qin Feng was dumbfounded. It was a pink flying sword, but it was blown into nothingness the moment it flew into the sea of lightning. This showed how ferocious the lightning on the Black Mountain was. Chapter 1869. The lightning on the Black Mountain could instantly destroy spirit weapons, so Qin Feng naturally wouldn't go up the mountain directly. He sat at the foot of the mountain and started to set up a formation, trying to draw the lightning down. After he could set up a level 5 spirit gathering formation, Qin Feng tried to set up a level 5 lightning storage formation. He found that once he broke through the bottleneck and understood the essence of the formation, he just needed to make some slight changes, and he would be able to understand everything. The first level 5 lightning storage formation was formed. Because it was his first time setting it up, he spent a lot of time and energy. Fortunately, the level 5 lightning storage formation was successfully activated, proving that Qin Feng had completely stepped into the ranks of a level 5 spirit formation master. Next, the level 5 lightning storage formation became easier. Not only did the formation speed become faster, but the energy in the formation also became stronger. After spending half a day, Qin Feng created a total of 50 level 5 lightning storage formations. He let out a long breath and focused his eyes on the Black Mountain. Now was the time to test the effect of these lightning storage formations and whether the lightning on the Black Mountain could leave the Black Mountain. Swoosh! With a wave of his hand, a dozen formation flags fell to the ground. A loud sound came from the mountain peak. Several waist-thick black lightning bolts exploded a few hundred meters in front of Qin Feng. At the moment of the explosion, Qin Feng felt the ground shake violently, as if there was an earthquake. He saw the level 5 lightning storage formation that he activated explode, and his eyeballs almost fell to the ground. At this moment, Qin Feng was pleasantly surprised. He was shocked by the power of the lightning on the Black Mountain. At the same time, he was happy that the sea of lightning on the Black Mountain could be drawn out. Qin Feng realized that the lightning bolts could be drawn out from the Black Mountain. This way, he could seal the lightning source in the energy slot and provide it to the 100-mile light sniper. The level 5 lightning storage formation that was destroyed was just a test for Qin Feng to test the power of the lightning bolts. Since a level 5 lightning storage formation couldn't withstand the power of the lightning source, then he would just activate a few more. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. For a time, Qin Feng's hands shot out unceasingly. Hundreds of array flags scattered like flowers from the heavens. Several hundred meters in front of him emitted bursts of strange energy fluctuations. This time, Qin Feng simply activated the remaining 49 thunder-storing arrays. He didn't believe that they would be destroyed by the thunder source. The moment the formation was activated, an earth-shattering sound came from the Black Mountain. This time, dozens of black lightning bolts, each as thick as a human's waist, descended from the sky like dozens of black dragons. The array formation did not explode in an instant, but the 49 lightning storage arrays were filled up in an instant, and cracks even appeared on a few of the arrays. Even though Qin Feng saw it with his own eyes, he still found it hard to accept. He thought to himself, what the hell was this thunder source on the Black Mountain? It was even more ferocious than the 9 changes true thunder triggered by his breakthrough. He quickly came to his senses and immediately kept the array flags. The 49 lightning storing arrays were shut down, and only then did the surging thunder and lightning from the Black Mountain stop. Looking at the 49 thunder accumulating arrays filled with thunder sources, Qin Feng's eyes shined with a green light. It was as if he had found a sweet spring in a desert. Without thinking, he took out the energy tank and began to absorb the thunder source's energy. When he went to Coiling Dragon Mountain to search for treasures, Qin Feng had used up all the thunder source in the energy tank during his battle with Hong Fei. Afterwards, Hong Fei had been frightened by him and used the Grade 7 Escaping Earth Talisman to escape. Otherwise, Qin Feng would have been killed. Now that the energy tank was in a completely empty state, the speed at which it absorbed the thunder source was extremely fast. In less than an incense stick of time, all the thunder source in the 20 lightning storing arrays had been sucked dry, and the energy tank had reached a state of saturation. This caused Qin Feng to once again be shocked by the might of the thunder sea on the Black Mountain. It had to be known that when he broke through to the 7 changes Buddha aura, the thunder tribulation he triggered hadn't been able to fill up the energy tank. But thinking about it, Qin Feng understood. Now he was arranging a Grade 5 lightning storing array, and the one he had arranged was only a Grade 4 lightning storing array. When the energy tank was full, Qin Feng began to worry again. There were still 29 thunder source left in the lightning storing arrays. These thunder source were violent and ferocious, as if it could break through the lightning storing arrays at any time. Qin Feng didn't dare to imagine the consequences if the lightning storing arrays were broken. He knew that it would be a great catastrophe for him, and it was hard to say whether he could survive or not. However, he didn't have any other treasures to store thunder source, and he didn't have the time to check the Grade 5 lightning storing arrays. Qin Feng hurriedly entered his consciousness into the system, planning to buy an energy tank. The energy tank that Qin Feng had was the smallest model in the system, but it still cost him 500,000 hedonist points. He looked at his remaining 1,429,000 hedonist points, gritted his teeth, and spent 1 million hedonist points to buy a medium-sized energy tank.
Ding.
Host has spent 1 million hedonist points and successfully purchased an energy tank. Host's total hedonist points, 429,000. Host has spent a total of 7,830,000 hedonist points. Host will be promoted to a rank 9 hedonist mortal after spending another 2,170,000 hedonist points. Host, please continue to work hard. The system notification sounded. Qin Feng was in a good mood as he saw that he was getting closer and closer to becoming a rank 9 hedonist mortal. A brand new energy tank appeared in his hand. It was the same size as Qin Feng's energy tank. However, When he held the energy tank in his hand, Qinfen could clearly feel that the hidden energy in it was much more abundant. The energy tank had already been thrown out by Qinfen, and it quickly absorbed all the lightning in the remaining 29 lightning storage arrays. At this time, the energy in the energy tank had not even reached half its capacity. This directly proved that it had an enormous storage capacity. After storing all the thunder source, Qinfen's heart finally calmed down. However, when he looked at the Black Mountain again, his heart became heavy. 49 Grade 5 lightning storing arrays could definitely store an enormous amount of thunder source energy. Qinfen thought that the sea of lightning on the Black Mountain would weaken, but he realized that he was overthinking. The sea of lightning was still as ferocious as ever, as if nothing had changed. "Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to go up?" Qinfen complained. This time, he was really at his wit's end. Little Pig's voice came. "Master, the spirit-seeking insect's senses can't be wrong. It is certain that there is a treasure on the mountaintop. However, with Master's current cultivation, going up the mountain is equivalent to throwing your life away. I suggest that you wait until the next time the 13 Palaces opens." Qinfen frowned. Even Little Pig advised him to give up. This meant that this Black Lightning Mountain was more terrifying than he imagined. However, Qinfen didn't have the time to wait. He urgently needed an opportunity to break through. The next time the 13 Palaces opened was 10 years later. Did he have to wait 10 years to avenge Ouyang-jun and the others? As if feeling the change in Qinfen's mood, Little Pig finally sighed. "Master, if you really want to go up the mountain, then prepare more lightning guiding arrays and lightning storing arrays. Also, put on your spirit armor. If you really are in a life or death situation, then immediately enter the astral world." This was the first time Qinfen heard Little Pig speak in such a tone. His heart even wavered a little, but the thought of retreating quickly disappeared. If he retreated every time he encountered an opportunity because it was difficult and dangerous, then he could forget about breaking through to the next realm. He could forget about taking revenge and protecting the people around him. He could just sit and wait to be killed by stronger cultivators. This wasn't what Qinfen wanted. He knew that he had to become stronger because there were too many people that needed his protection. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Qinfen had already set up more than 200 lightning storing arrays and a dozen lightning guiding arrays at the foot of the mountain. He had almost used up all the materials he had collected over the years to set up the arrays. However, he knew that he had to be conservative. Otherwise, he would lose his life and all the cultivation resources would be useless. In these 3 days, Qinfen also discovered some patterns. The lightning on the Black Mountain became the most intense at sunrise. It even forced Qinfen to retreat a few hundred meters to set up the arrays. However, when the sun set, the lightning source weakened a little, and Qinfen could move another 100 meters closer to the Black Mountain. However, the weakening of the lightning source was only relative to when it was at sunrise. For Qinfen, even when the sea of lightning was at its weakest, it was still incomparably powerful. At the very least, it wouldn't be any weaker than the lightning tribulation he triggered when he broke through. After all the preparations were done, Qinfen waited for the sun to set. He looked at the setting sun halfway down the mountain and took out his flying sword. Golden light flashed. In just a few breaths of time, Qinfen crossed the several hundred meters. When he entered the mountainside, he felt as if he had broken through a barrier. He immediately understood that there was an array set up on the Black Mountain. It should be a shielding array that cut off the connection between the Black Mountain and the outside world. In an instant, Qinfen understood many things. No wonder there was only a turbulent sea of lightning above the Black Mountain and no changes in the weather outside. Also, Qinfen realized that this shielding array had been around for too long and was about to disappear. Otherwise, he wouldn't have drawn the sea of lightning to the lightning storing array outside. These thoughts only flashed through his mind. He suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. The moment he entered the shielding array, a black lightning bolt landed on his body, instantly turning several of the spirit armors on his body into powder. These spirit armors were the spoils of war that Qinfen had killed and robbed. Their levels weren't too high. He simply didn't have the time to feel distressed over a dozen spirit armors being destroyed in an instant. He felt that if he didn't put up a resistance, he would be smashed to pieces in the next second in this sea of lightning.
Shwa.
When 3 black lightning bolts as thick as a person's waist appeared above his head, Qianfen immediately threw out several hundred array flags. These array flags were like flowers scattered by a celestial maiden, falling on the lightning guiding array and lightning storing array at the bottom of the mountain. A burst of loud sounds came from outside. Qianfen looked at the black lightning above his head and let out a sigh of relief. However, he didn't stop at all and immediately urged his flying sword to rush towards the top of the mountain. The black mountain wasn't high. It seemed to be only 100 meters or so. However, when Qianfen really climbed up the mountain, he discovered that this distance of 100 meters was hundreds of times more difficult than climbing to the top of Mount Everest. As he flew higher and higher, thunder roared in his ears. The loud sound was about to burst his eardrums. The lightning bolts circling above his head crisscrossed, like dense spider webs. So, the thunder source is at the top of the mountain. The closer I get to the top, the fiercer the attack of the lightning. I'm only halfway up the mountain, and I'm already half dead. How can I reach the top? Although Qianfen had mentally prepared himself the moment he took out his flying sword to climb the mountain, he still couldn't bear it. The sea of lightning on the Black Mountain was much stronger than he had imagined. Chapter 1870. At this moment, Qianfen wanted to escape from Black Mountain immediately, but he realized that it was easier to get in than to get out. There was a trapping formation hidden in the Black Mountain, and it was a very high-level trapping formation. Qianfen didn't notice it when he came in, but when he wanted to get out, he was blocked by an invisible barrier. His escape route was completely blocked, so Qianfen had to force himself to rush to the top of the mountain. Although he was standing on a flying sword, his speed was even slower than a tortoise climbing a mountain. Every time he moved half a meter, he would feel the pressure on his head double. Qianfen had already circulated his inner qi to protect his body. His inner qi was extremely strong, but he couldn't withstand the aftershocks of the lightning. He didn't know when, but the creation scripture automatically activated, and Qianfen's body was surrounded by blue lightning. It was the 4th stage of the Vajra exercise, hallowed Thunder Body. The Vajra exercise had a total of 9 stages, and Qianfen had broken through to the 4th stage of the hallowed Thunder Body. The defense of this stage was invincible in the Sage King realm, and it could withstand the fierce attacks of Buddha light cultivators. But in this fierce sea of lightning, it was useless. Right now, Qianfeng's only life-saving method was to continuously guide the black lightning to the lightning-storing formation at the foot of the mountain. However, he quickly became depressed. The 200 or so level 5 lightning-storing formations at the foot of the mountain were unknowingly full. Crackle. More black lightning as thick as a person's waist exploded from the top of the mountain. Qianfen immediately felt the aura of death. Without thinking, he quickly threw out dozens of formation flags, and then he heard a loud explosion from the foot of the mountain. When he looked up, he felt despair. A few of the thunder storage formations could not withstand the power of the lightning and exploded, causing the surrounding thunder storage formations to explode one after another. More than 200 formations were destroyed. The scene was like the end of the world. Qianfen felt the Black Mountain shake violently. Rocks rolled down from the top of the mountain, and a few large rocks hit him, causing him to vomit blood. "Master, hide in the astral space," Little Pig shouted anxiously. Qianfen also realized that he was in a desperate situation. Now that the thunder storage formation had been destroyed, the next lightning would strike him. With his current realm, it was impossible for him to withstand the attack of the black lightning. But Qianfen didn't want to enter the astral space. If he did, he would be completely trapped in the astral space. Even if there were 2 spirit veins and many spirit herbs in the astral space to help him break through, it would be useless if he didn't have the opportunity to break through. Rumble. Just as he hesitated for a moment, a thunderous roar came from above his head. 3 black ring-shaped lightning bolts flew over like black dragons and exploded on his body. This was the first time Qin Feng had been struck by lightning from the Black Mountain. Previously, he had only felt the residual power of the lightning. In an instant, his clothes were torn, his skin was charred, and smoke rose from his body. He looked like a person who had been roasted. This was only the external situation. The 3 bolts of lightning had caused even more serious damage to his body. He began to vomit blood, and his inner qi was instantly thrown into chaos. It was like a crazy beast rampaging in his body. The blue light on Qin Feng's body changed. It turned into an illusory doppelganger that soared into the sky. However, the defense of the doppelganger wasn't very strong. In other words, it wasn't strong enough against the ferocious black lightning. In an instant, it was destroyed by the lightning. Qin Feng realized that his Vajra esoteric arts had broken through again. It had reached the 5th level of true essence doppelganger. When the Vajra esoteric arts was activated, a doppelganger would be created to block the attack. The doppelganger's defense was actually very strong. It was invincible in the Buddha aura realm. It could even block the fierce attack of a venerable true spirit for a moment. However, Qin Feng didn't feel happy because of the Vajra esoteric arts breakthrough. He knew that the true essence doppelganger's level was still too low. It couldn't block the black lightning's attack at all. He watched as 3 more black lightning bolts fell from above. At this moment, he felt as if he could see death approaching. Little Pig squealed anxiously. Qin Feng didn't plan to enter the astral world. He knew that once he entered, he wouldn't be able to come out for 8 to 10 years. By the time he came out, the Divine Supreme Continent would be in chaos. The Spirit Immortal Kingdom and Emperor Qin would probably be long gone. Rumble. As these thoughts flashed through his mind, the black lightning fell. Qin Feng felt a sharp pain in his head. Even his sea of consciousness was severely injured. His consciousness was fading away quickly. The golden flying sword under his feet fell to the side of the mountain and lost its golden brilliance. Qin Feng floated in the air as his body was continuously attacked by the lightning. It looked like a god who had violated the heavenly rules and was being punished by the heavenly lightning. After his consciousness disappeared, Qin Feng's bodily functions also started to disappear. His breathing and heart stopped, but only the Creation Chapters Heart Sutra continued to circulate. Moreover, the circulation speed became faster and faster. In his dantian, there was a ball of air flowing along with it, forming a spinning cyclone. The cyclone actually started to absorb the lightning in his body and convert the lightning source into spirit qi to devour. Time flew. After an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng's body was burnt to a crisp. However, his dantian felt like it was expanding. The feeling grew stronger and stronger. In the end, there was a loud bang as if something inside his body had exploded. However, it was this huge movement within his body that shook Qin Feng awake. He immediately checked his body's condition and was pleasantly surprised to find that he had inexplicably broken through to the 8 changes of Buddha's aura. However, this joy did not last for long. He immediately frowned and looked towards the void. There was another purple lightning ring in the dense thunderclouds. At this moment, Qin Feng wanted to cry, but had no tears. He couldn't even withstand the lightning from the Black Mountain. In the end, the 9 changes true lightning triggered by his breakthrough came again. "Master, something's wrong." Little Pig suddenly cried out. Qin Feng was prepared to die, but after waiting for a while, he realized that there was no lightning falling. He looked into the sky again and was immediately stunned by the scene in front of him. Lightning crisscrossed in the sky, and a loud bang sounded. The lightning tribulation he triggered was fighting with the lightning from the Black Mountain. What's going on? Qin Feng really didn't understand. Little Pig thought for a moment and shouted excitedly, "Master, the Divine Continent has 9 great lightning tribulations. Rumor has it that these 9 great lightning tribulations are enemies. As long as 2 of them meet, they will fight each other." Qin Feng's eyes widened. He looked at the dark sea of lightning in the void and said, "You mean the lightning on the Black Mountain is also one of the 9 great lightning tribulations? Most likely, but I don't know what kind of lightning tribulation this is, Little Pig said. Qianfen didn't know whether he should be happy or depressed at this moment. Other cultivators would never encounter a lightning tribulation in their entire lives. He had only been in the Divine Continent for 2 years, and he had already encountered 2. While he was complaining in his heart, Little Pig hurriedly shouted, "Master, now is the best time to go up the mountain." Qianfen woke up with a start and looked at the sky. At this moment, the 2 types of lightning were fighting fiercely, so no lightning came to attack him. Qianfen even felt the pressure on his body lessen a lot. With a slight thought, the shining flying sword turned into a golden light and shot towards him, immediately carrying him towards the top of the mountain. His speed was still very slow, but it was much faster than the speed at which the tortoise climbed the mountain. When Qianfen flew 3/4 of the way up the mountain, he once again felt an unprecedented pressure. After a momentary pause, Qianfen suddenly roared. When he used the 4th form, he was a little shocked. He always thought that the heavenly thunder tactic focused on offense. He didn't expect the 4th form to be a defensive move. No wonder he was stuck at the 3rd form, myriad lightning greeting. It turned out that there was a deviation in his thinking. Qianfen understood why he suddenly had an epiphany. It was because the current situation had given him an opportunity. Coupled with the help of the creation of heaven and earth skill, everything became natural. At this moment, a layer of lightning shield appeared around him. The layers of the shield overlapped each other, as if the lightning had formed a solid wall. Qianfen's mind moved slightly, and a golden light appeared under his feet. At the same time, he activated the Creation Chapter mantra at full force and rushed toward the mountain peak without a care for anything else. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.